Ooh, which one should we watch, boys? Which one should we watch? How did she lose body parts in your house? Sorry, what? Man's 30-year killing spree. Yo, we gotta see this.
Did you have a son who in his lifetime was known as Emmett Till?
Yes, sir.
Emmett Lewis Hill.
Oh, that's the kid who was fucking lynched, right?
We have an opportunity.
Emmett Till was
I want America to bear witness.
he was a kid that was lynched, right?
If this country fails to protect the black body from hate, America has yet to meet her promise.
Wasn't Emmett like the last? He was the last lynching, right? The last American lynching.
Okay, man. Well, I threw Levi out of the house by his hair. The girls went out the window. My eyes were burnt shut. It felt like somebody hit me in the face with 5 baseball bats at the same time. I could be sitting 2 feet from you, and you're not there. You're not there. You are not there. It was pink elephants flying.
You are not able to tell the truth right now.
I need to put on a show to make it so nobody knows it happened.
What?
911, what's location of your emergency?
Oh, he's actually fucking insane.
85 Yale Farm Road.
Okay.
I think I need an ambulance.
Okay, what's going on?
The truck fell on my stepson.
The truck fell on your stepson?
Listen, we just got home, and I don't think he's alive.
You don't think he's alive?
No, 885.
Okay, he's pinned underneath the truck?
Yeah, my husband's lifting up the truck. Honestly, I don't think he's alive.
Oh my god.
22.
And did your husband get the truck off of him?
He was jacking it up when I was just out there.
Okay, are you
No.
with your son right now?
He killed his son on purpose?
Is he breathing?
No.
He is not breathing. Okay.
No.
Okay, we're going to start CPR, okay?
Yeah, Carl, they want to start CPR. Do you know CPR? His chest is crushed.
His chest is crushed?
No. He's probably been under here for hours.
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God.
All right, what is your first name?
Cindy.
Cindy?
C-I-N-D-Y.
Okay, and your last name is Carlson?
Carlson. Oh my God. This is awful.
The 911 call you just heard was placed after Levi Carlson's stepmother discovered his lifeless body in the barn. He'd been performing repairs under his dad's old truck when it suddenly collapsed, effectively crushing every last remnant of life right out of him.
Dude.
4 years later, in the interrogation room, years of unbelievable
4 years
secrets would be
fucking
revealed,
later.
exposing a story so shocking.
How? How is it 4 years later? What the fuck? Did he go to jail immediately?
To see it, to believe it. What investigators would soon uncover was more twisted than they ever could have imagined, reaching much
he
further
burned the
than a
house.
tragic accident in his garage. The majority of the following interrogation footage has never been seen before.
Oh, I see. I see. Killed the kid, and then 4 years later, he got away with it. And 4 years later, he tried to burn the whole family. Because that beginning, him saying, whatever the fuck he was saying was giving me like vibes that he burnt the house, like he threw the girls out the window, right? Because the house was burning.
Early 80s. Over the years, he headed a variety of failed business endeavors.
Oh, that's a nice horse.
Horses and a gourmet.
Yo, what the fuck? That's gigantic. That's a big ass fucking horse.
According to his older brother, Carl was never skilled when it came to money management. Of course, this claim will take on a whole new meaning later.
State of time
In
of death.
1983, he married Christina Alexander, and together the couple had 3 children, 2 daughters, and 1 son, Levi.
Don't tell me she mysteriously died.
In disaster. Carl would marry again in
Official bikini inspector. Oh, good one, bro. Good dad joke. Good dad joke.
Marriage
Bro, it's
ended in
minus
disaster.
33 right now? Jesus
Carl would
Christ.
marry again in 1993, this time to a woman
You're in
named
Texas?
Cindy Best. The two met at a line dancing event in Seneca Falls, and they fell in love after Carl told her the tragic tale of his life. More on that later.
Line
However,
dancing.
it was the collapse of this second marriage that would eventually lead to Carl's arrest in 2012, 4 years after Levi's death in 2008. Carl was intercepted by Lieutenant John Clear and Detective Thomas Crowley
No, no one's
outside
had
a
calls.
local restaurant in the town of Ovid, New York,
No one.
where they asked him to accompany them to the sheriff's office to answer some questions, and Carl agreed. Upon arrival just a few minutes later, Carl was led to an interrogation room where the questioning would commence. As the following interrogation unfolds, the story only gets crazier with each new revelation. The detective starts by directing Carl to sit in the chair that's furthest from the door so he feels trapped in the room and ill at ease. The room is intentionally bland with nothing in it but chairs and a table. This is done to reduce distractions and make it feel like an unfamiliar and uncomfortable environment to add to the suspect's stress. The suspect then relies on the interrogators to ease the stress or amp it up as they need to in order to get the truth.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this room is pretty much the same as that, bro. White fucking walls, a bed, and a PC. Pretty much the same.
Out of them. If you're a frequent viewer, you may have noticed that the arrangement of suspects and interrogators in the rooms is not always the same. Different interrogators use different strategies depending on their own.
And I don't know if you live in Texas or not, Hoss. I don't remember.
Or if they have safety concerns. However, the way they stage the room and where they
Oh, that
have the
fucking
suspect
bitch.
sit is almost always intentional. For one
Ah,
purpose or
Canada.
another.
Your daughter's a police officer, right?
Yeah.
Bro, I don't
You
remember.
know about your Miranda rights?
Oh yeah.
The
Oh, yeah.
detective mentions they know his daughter is a police officer to put on record the fact
Oh,
that
yeah.
he's likely familiar with Miranda rights and police procedure, or at least more so than the average person may be. Then he proceeds to read Carl his Miranda warnings.
But he's gonna be
In the years
retarded.
Following Levi's death, Cindy, Levi's stepmother, started to become suspicious that perhaps his death wasn't an accident, but something far more sinister. In fact, Cindy was so concerned that she began having panic attacks. She knew she had to devise a plan to uncover the truth. It was while watching a true crime show that she had an idea. She decided
Dude, you're
to
kidding me.
secretly record Carl and see if she could get him to confess. First, she told Carl they should separate for a while, and she moved out. Then she told him that the only way she'd get back together with him is if he was honest with her about everything that happened throughout their marriage. Carl agreed.
Why does she want to play the fucking hero, bro? You're a lowly woman. You could get killed at any fucking moment. What's wrong with you? What the fuck?
Not knowing that Cindy...
This ain't your job, you fucking retard. Bro, this woman watches a fucking true crime documentary. She's like, oh, I'm gonna be a detective. Oh, I'm gonna do that job. Jesus.
But her plan
Oh,
was
okay.
terribly wrong. The pair met at a restaurant, and to Cindy's shock, Carl confirmed her suspicions and confessed.
Now I
to
remember,
Levi.
Huskak. I remember.
However,
Sorry, bro.
after
I
she took her
forget.
Reporting to the sheriff's office, she realized Carl's
forget.
voice
You're like
couldn't be
faxing.
heard on the tape. Still, her suspicion led investigators to reassess the case. They asked her to record him again, this time wearing a wire. Cindy agreed, though she worried that she'd already...
No, I
blown her
remember
chance, and that
trolling you
Carl
when I was
needed
playing
to
Dead by
confess.
Daylight.
Not only was she concerned that he wouldn't confess again, but
With
that he
Quebec. I
might
remember that.
kill her. Regardless, the pair met again at a restaurant, and Cindy's worst fears were confirmed.
Yeah.
Carl changed his story.
You're sorry about it, right?
Every minute.
Okay, Carl, and I asked you if you pushed the truck, and you said
I didn't push the truck, I said I had nothing to do, but I said I took advantage of the situation once it happened.
I took advantage of the situation once it happened?
Says
What?
that while Levi was working on the truck, he went into the barn and inched it up, and then it slid. She slid back and zoom.
I took advantage of the situation once it happened.
It was never planned from day one to go that way, from the time we did the insurance. Most chilling,
Huh?
Carl said of his son, if it did happen, he's done things in life. Now Carl sits in the interrogation room, and in 3 seconds, he'll begin to describe the disturbing events of that day, and things will quickly escalate as the interrogation continues.
Okay, you guys don't know what happened that day.
Tell us about it.
The day that my son died. Her and I, we had a funeral to go to. Left at 11:30, 11:45, somewhere like that. It was on
Him and her had to go to a funeral. Imagine if this motherfucker said, I didn't want to go, so I need to make an excuse. What the fuck, bro? Jesus Christ. Cause the son is an excuse.
Notice the way Carl says son was there. It's as if he's checking an item off a list. It seems very distant and highly impersonal. He didn't say my son, nor did he show any emotion or sadness at mentioning Levi.
He helped me. We were working on the truck, changing the transmission lines, brake lines, the whole 9 yards. You know, talked to him, said goodbye. He was going to work on his truck later in the afternoon because he had to change something. I can't remember what it was. So then we left, come back a little after 4, and went out there and found it.
Carl's story sounds very rehearsed. This may be because he's recited it numerous times to police before, or because he has a timeline of events or an alibi that he's created and is sticking to. The casual and emotional.
Or maybe because his fucking kid died that day, bro.
Dead is disturbing and a major red flag of guilt.
Yeah, but it was 4 years ago.
How many times a parent says those words, one would expect it to bring up emotions or sadness.
Did you say anything before you left?
Just see you later and thanks, or what, you know, I mean, just.
So you had gone out to the car with your wife, and then you went into the barn?
Yep, because I forgot to give him the money.
Did you give him the money?
Yep, $50 bill.
Carl would pay Levi with Mountain Dew and whatever cash he had on him whenever he would work on the truck.
And then what happened? What else happened?
And then I left. Because he was in front of the bumper.
Was the radio on at that time?
Yep.
What was it playing?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. And then what happens?
And then I left.
You left as soon as you go where?
To her aunt, I believe it was, to the reception, just a short time. Then we got
Just premeditated, I don't know.
after 4. I went out in the garage, and because we were surprised he was still there. If the truck is this way, he was laying this way. Mm-hmm. And then I
T-bone.
went in, yelled, banging on the door, and told her to call ambulance, and started jacking it up, and she come out. You know, there's no doubt about, I mean, the only jack that was there was the big railroad jack, which is my father's. And it was an old one that they used to use way back when, I guess, what we were told, is it lifted up the old railroad irons. They come in, tried doing CPR, and he was already gone.
Oh, wow.
They said he had died right around 1 or 2 o'clock. It's right on the death certificate and all that stuff. And I asked him, I said, you know, and it's a question you hate to ask, but it's like...
Well, let me tell you, let me stop.
Did he suffer?
The detective trying to get him to stop denying the actual time of death of his son, which is at a time that likely exculpates him. This is a step of the Reed technique. Letting the suspect deny their guilt will increase their confidence, so the interrogator tries to interrupt all denials.
What we know to be true is you pushed that car over.
I did not.
Well, the only thing that remains to be found out is what the reasons were.
Here, the detective uses the first step of the Reed technique.
He just told him he knows he's dead. I mean, he killed him.
The interrogator presents the facts of the case and informs the suspect of the evidence against them, implying in a confident manner that the suspect is involved in the crime. The suspect's stress level increases, and the interrogator may move around the room, invading the suspect's personal space to increase the discomfort.
Here's the thing. You confessed to your wife.
Ooh, and she recorded it.
If that were the case, why would he confess to a murder he allegedly didn't commit? It makes no logical sense.
You have her wired? And be honest with me.
Yes, we do.
I thought you did.
It's all recorded.
It seems Carl has quite a hole to dig himself out of at this point.
You made difficult decisions, and the fact of the matter is you did what most people would want to do, but don't have a
I don't
chance to do
understand
it.
what you mean by that.
What
Would
I
want
mean
to
by
do?
that is exactly what you told your wife. Your son, unfortunately, was flawed, like everybody else. And just like you told your wife,
Flogged?
on multiple times, that you did what you had to do, you took an opportunity to benefit your family.
The detective is trying to align himself with Carl and normalize what he did to his son as a way to make Carl feel more...
Yeah, to make him confess.
Or more likely to talk.
You cannot now take those words back. You can't do that.
Well,
it doesn't benefit your family. It's completely against your character, and it doesn't help you any. You were at your finest moment when you were making decisions to benefit your family.
At your finest moment?
Step in the Reed method.
Okay, he's sucking his dick too hard.
Killed his son to benefit his family, and that he confessed because he's a good person.
they call that murder.
I never called that murder.
I do.
That's what you're nervous about now.
No,
You're afraid that you did the right thing, and now you're sitting here saying, "Oh my God, I'm trying to help my family, and now I'm in trouble."
Okay, what do you call it?
So the right thing was to kill his
It's
son.
in your heart, so we know what to call it.
I would call that murder.
Why don't you talk to us about what really happened? And then we'll tell you what to
I
call it.
would call that murder.
The theme is not one Carl is latching onto, as he knows that in society, it's not morally justifiable or legal to kill for money, even if it helps your family out. Many psychopaths understand what society deems acceptable. They just don't follow those rules.
You don't kill your son. You don't kill anybody for money.
Listen, who said anything about money? What are you talking about?
Both
I mean, why else would he
detectives
have killed him?
surprised when Carl mentions money as the possible motive.
Why else
stating
would he
that
have
they
killed
never
him?
said anything about money. The money Carl is referring to is Levi's life insurance policy, a hefty sum of $707,000.
And nobody thinks because of what happened to Levi that you're any less of a person.
Boys, if one of your parent takes a fucking life thing on you, dude, watch out. They're trying to murder you. That's what we can learn from these things.
In my heart that I have children, and it must have been the most difficult thing in the world. But you were able to do it, and I'm not saying it's right. Don't get me wrong. I'm saying that you made a difficult decision, and now you have to live with that decision.
Instead of saying
yeah, I'm from Monterey. Yeah, no, I'm not from here, but yeah, I live here.
Carl made to try to get him to start talking about it.
I'm not asking you.
Yeah, he's trying to see if it was premeditated, if it was a.
You pushed the car over on your son. You said it. We've heard it. It's a matter of evidence, along with several other things that will prove the same.
He's trying to see if it's first degree, second,
look like a monster.
etc.
You did what was in your heart, and now you're trying to pull back because you're now for the first time in your life you're worried about you. Before you worried about your family.
No,
now you're
I've
actually
always
worried
been
about
worried
yourself.
about me.
Is that right?
I've always been worried about me is the exact thought process of a psychopath. They worry about their own needs above all else. Me first, me second, and me last. Psychopaths use people as a means to get what they want. Levi
not based.
A means for Carl to get money, nothing more.
You're worried about you now when you should be worried about your family.
Bro, but it makes no sense. Like, the fucking kid probably costs way more than $700,000, dude. Between food, shelter, school, everything. Come on.
Well, the only one in my family right now is me.
The detective knows Carl only worries about himself, and this is all just a ploy to get him to discuss committing the murder.
Now, you said something about money. I don't believe that. I don't believe that you did anything for money. I don't believe that for 1 second, because there's no amount of money that can make that worthwhile.
Mm-hmm.
But you
Bro, they're twisting his words. They're twisting his words.
For money? No. Okay, then.
Notice how Carl shifts after the detective brings up money.
No.
Pay attention to Carl's movements each time money is mentioned.
You know what? I want a lawyer or something, I guess, because I don't understand what... You guys aren't listening to me.
Well, we want to hear the truth.
And I'm trying to tell you, but...
Question is, are they going to let him?
So it's like, I'm sorry.
By law, he must now stop questioning Carl. The detective sits back and lets Carl talk, as he can legally no longer interrogate him without an attorney or without Carl re-waiving his Miranda rights.
I mean, they say that, but we saw them do the same thing to the black guy. Remember the black guy that lost the eye? That guy said, I want an attorney. And they kept pressing him. I want an attorney. And they didn't give a fuck. They kept pressing and they kept pressing and they kept pressing. The fuck?
You asked for the term. So we're not going to ask any more questions. It was,
you said, I guess.
I guess, what do you mean?
You said, you said I need to talk to a lawyer, I guess.
However, the lieutenant points out the technicality that Carl has stated, I guess, in regards to wanting a lawyer.
So do you?
You know what? I want a lawyer or something, I guess.
do you want to continue to talk to us before we continue to listen?
Because we can end this now, if that's,
I know.
we'll just go on with what...
Just get a fucking lawyer, you prepare a fuck.
I did not have anything to do in Levi's death. Nothing.
You have to let us know, yes or no, do you want an attorney right now and you want us to stop and just go with what we know?
Oh my god, bro. Look at the manipulation. Look at the manipulation, dude. So do you want us to keep... Because look, what they said is basically, look, we're calling you a fucking killer right now, alright? So do you want to call an attorney? And if you do, we'll just call you a killer. That's fine.
For a yes or no answer regarding whether he wants an attorney. But his tone and the way he phrased it was somewhat questionable.
Yeah.
It may have pressured Carl to feel like he had to say no to needing an attorney. It's also possible that Carl feels that asking for an attorney could make him appear guilty, while staying to talk to detectives could be his best option to prove his innocence.
Yeah, listen, always get a fucking attorney, boys. Jesus Christ.
With the detectives having the upper hand and authority, as well as the comfort of having gone through this many times before.
Or do you want to continue to talk to us and try and work this out?
How about you go fuck yourself?
You have to give us a solid a clue. It's called a clear declaration, my friend.
The lieutenant tries to get Carl to re-waive his rights by calling him my friend, touching his arm to appear like his ally, and making it seem like him talking is to his benefit. However, it almost never is.
We know a lot of what happened, but only you, Carl, knows what's in your head.
Oh, I know. I know what's in my head and in my heart.
He gets closer to Carl and stands over him in order to apply more pressure as he invades Carl's personal space.
Bro, these fucking cops.
We knew that you were in the Air Force.
Yeah.
And we know that
What does that have to do with it?
Because I respect you for that. Are you proud of the time you spent?
Oh, I am. I loved it.
You should be proud of that. And I know that when you were in there, like anybody that does military training, you probably were trained to make life and death decisions.
Right.
Right.
You just made one. When it came to Levi, I think there was a problem. And you did what you were trained, what you were programmed to do.
Yeah, they're trying to give him an out. They're trying to give him an out.
While the lieutenant is well aware that this is much different, he's trying to normalize what Carl did to make it easier for him to confess.
You do not want a lawyer right now?
Not right at this minute, no. Okay.
Carl re-waives his Miranda rights, and therefore, the detectives can begin questioning him again. They want to lock him into a confession.
That touching was extra.
Reasonable doubt. There's little evidence stronger than.
Dude, it's like the guy already said he wanted a lawyer, but the cops will just keep pushing you, boys. If you guys are caught in a weird situation, man, just get a lawyer. I'm not gonna talk to you until I get a lawyer. Nope, lawyer. Because these motherfuckers are gonna be like, oh, okay, yeah, I mean that's what suspects do. Yeah, that's what they do. That's what they do when they break the law. They get a lawyer. They do this. They do that. They're trying to manipulate the fuck out of you, dude. Jesus Christ.
By the suspect.
Something's wrong. She's setting me up. She's just setting me up. I mean, how else can you describe it? You know, and I'm like,
as you killing your son?
We're adults, we're professionals.
Maybe.
What you're doing now is you're trying to backtrack.
He likely believes that the strongest evidence the police have against him is that he confessed to his wife. So he's trying to...
Nah, they probably have more.
Confession. The detectives immediately shoot down his story that he was set up and refuse to let him use that theory.
It's not just your own words. We have corroborated that with physical evidence. So it's when you're telling us I didn't do it, it's like you telling us that there's not a 500-pound gorilla here. If there was a 500-pound gorilla sitting right here, it would be the same thing as you saying he's not here.
You know, you weren't there.
Well, tell us what happened.
I spoiled my son, Levi, terribly.
I believe that. How was his life? I mean, Levi.
The detective.
They're trying to just get him to talk.
They try to get an idea of how Carl felt about him and get him to explain how he was a drain on him and the family. Then he can tie that back into why Carl wanted him dead. Levi and Carl were known to have a strained relationship. In fact, by 16, Levi...
Carl Carlson.
He was married at 18 to Cassie Hone, and the couple had 2 daughters.
Oh,
After
no,
5 years
bro.
of marriage, they were divorced.
Oh.
Levi was said to love being a father.
He was seeing his kids more. He was paying child support. He was doing the whole 9 yards. You know, I mean, it was what a father dreams of.
This backfires, and Carl begins telling them how, before he died, he was doing great and had finally turned his life around. This makes the theory less plausible for the detectives by what Carl is saying. They will have to come back to this topic to discredit him.
You know what a lot of people think? You know what a lot of people think they're involved in this?
That you killed them.
They think that you took that insurance policy out and that you did this for the money. I don't believe that.
No.
The detective is separating him from the motive that he did this for the money. Everyone in the room knows that is why this was done, and this is just a tactic to have Carl confess with an alternative reason that is less reprehensible.
No.
That's what they, think about it though. Think about why do people think that?
I know. Oh, believe me, I went through the same thing when my wife died.
When did your wife?
Oh, he just leaked. Oh, he just leaked. Oh, he just leaked. Oh, he just leaked. He killed her. Because there was also a life thingy on her. Oh, you idiot. Fuck. Oh, he tried to get out of this one and he got under the second one. Oh, you leaked, bro. You leaked.
There for around 4 minutes, which could possibly be a self-soothing.
They're gonna fucking press him on that one. Press him on the fucking ex-wife.
Body heat is increasing from stress.
Press him on the ex-wife. Press him on the ex-wife.
We can prove right now that it was you that forced that car over. To me, you know, I think you did it out of a father's love.
The detective is now using the alternative theory technique, where he offers two motives. One being that he did it for the insurance money, and the other that he did it out of love, to try to get Carl to latch on to the less morally despicable explanation.
And there's no way a man can do it for the money.
No, there's no way.
When you come in here and lie,
yeah, but
I gotta think that.
No, there's no way. There's no way. Sorry.
Well, then you have to be honest with us and tell us.
I am.
You didn't do it for the money.
I did not do it for the money, and I did not do it.
An innocent person would not say they didn't commit murder.
Yeah, they would say I didn't do it, flat out.
Committed murder,
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
This demonstrates that Carl may have not only slipped and then tried to correct himself, but he may
yeah, they'd say I never do it, and I would never do it even for the money.
It's possible that in the privacy of his own thoughts, Carl has made up some other reason or explanation for killing Levi that is easier for him to digest.
Carl, I think
He's touching his fucking low, he's touching the thigh.
The lieutenant again.
Hey, Carl. Hey, Carl. That's the Riley.
This is done when the suspect is at the
This is the Riley Reid technique, okay? I've seen it. She touches the thing and then she goes up with the thigh. Wow, 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 wow. I've seen it many times.
Unsure of themselves. They may be looking for
the Riley Reid
to
technique.
The situation. In this technique, the interrogator tries to capitalize on that insecurity by pretending to be the suspect's ally. The detective tries to appear even more sincere in their continued theme development and gets physically closer to the suspect, making it harder for the suspect to detach from the situation. He offers physical gestures of camaraderie and concern by touching.
Yeah. Just like Mini, for real, for real. Look.
You took the opportunity to do it.
Look, he's about to raise him up. He was a burden, bro.
I don't know. You'll find out my memory's not the greatest because of the medicine I'm on. So it's things don't. You know, I've been on a lot of drugs since 2001.
Carl is beginning to build a possible defense.
Drug addict.
Carl can't clearly remember his conversation with Cindy. This excerpt leaves no question about Carl's intentions.
Drug addiction.
On that fateful day.
Carl, you told me that you didn't set it up that way, but when you were in there, you saw the opportunity.
Yeah, that's not premeditated.
But between the methadone, between the fentanyl, between the Vicodin, between all the other crap I take, I could be sitting 2 feet from you. And you're not there. You're not there. You are not there.
What do you mean by that?
You're not there.
You don't recognize if someone's there?
Oh, hell no. I'm looking through you. You're not there. I mean, it was pink elephants flying.
He's giving a million excuses.
Oh, bro, now he's saying no. I was high as fuck.
Liars and sociopaths will do.
It had not occurred to me, but.
Were you under the influence?
Medicine, you didn't know what you were doing until afterwards. I mean, I don't know.
The detective now tries to use what Carl has proposed. He's trying to get him to confess to killing his son, and because
by accident, because he was high. Yeah.
Drugs. He didn't know what he was doing. The detectives are fine with this tactic, as they can always disprove this later. They already know the evidence speaks to a clear financial motive. The detective may have thought it could be easier for Carl to admit guilt if he could blame it on the medication. Notice Carl leans closer to the.
I mean, he put that one forward. So.
Is that what happened?
No, I don't. No,
Is that what we know the act occurred. We don't know what's going on in your head, and that's what today's about.
I don't know what was going on in my head back then.
No, I think we should talk about the insurance. I think we're at that point. We have to address that.
This is important as it's the motive they believe was behind the murder. They also change topics as they realize he isn't going to confess yet.
Yeah.
So they're now going to confront him with the motive to try to sway him.
And were you the beneficiary of this policy?
Yes.
Carl was the beneficiary, which is rather unusual, given the fact that Levi had children and didn't seem to have a good relationship with Carl.
And what was the policy for? What was the amount?
$300,000.
Was there anything in addition that would subsidize that insurance policy? That would make it greater in certain circumstances?
Accidental death.
There was, which I didn't know. He had, there was
Accidental death.
Which we
Yeah.
didn't talk about that I know of. But
were you there when he signed that?
yeah, I was in the room and he signed that.
Did you sign it as well? Because I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay.
Carl
Bro.
believes that the policy was for $300,000. He may be trying to downplay the policy's value to the detectives. The base of the policy was actually
Yeah, it was 700,000 in
However,
total.
Carl had an accidental death rider on the policy as well. This means that if Levi died from accidental circumstances, he would receive an extra $300,000, totaling his life insurance benefit to $700,000. By bringing this up, the detective is revealing
Jesus
evidence that points to
Christ.
Carl planning the murder, showing premeditation.
And what were your plans with that money? What did you tell
Part of
Levi?
it,
Yeah.
Levi wanted, part of it goes to the girls.
Did he want you to have it?
I had total control because he did not, one thing, because
Who spent that money?
my wife and I.
Okay.
Oh, you fucking cunt.
Children spend that money?
No.
Oh, you fucking cunt.
Well, yeah, well,
It was intended for his
yes,
children, right?
but we split,
And
no,
his
okay.
what? The mother of his children, right?
Not for her. He
wasn't for her.
Levi, oh
Is
no.
she to this
Oh, you fucking cunt.
No.
Carl also saw to it that Levi's ex-wife Cassie was never aware of the policy. According to a statement she made on May 4th of 2012, 3.5 years after Levi's death, she described when she found out about the funds for the first time. I can't believe Carl had an insurance policy on Levi. I'm shocked and sick by this. I was always told there was no money, nothing.
Let's go through it right now.
No,
Before his death,
I'm pretty sure that's illegal.
Before his death, you and him go down and he becomes insured.
Right.
You're the beneficiary.
Right.
For what totals will be $700,000.
Yeah, which I only thought was $300 because I didn't know there was a accidental death. Why would he?
Yeah, why would he do that?
I don't know.
And then he died in an accident.
You know, I don't know.
Yeah. Strange.
Now the detective is
Strange.
trying to know all the details of the insurance to show how bad it looks.
Yeah.
He's hoping that Carl will confess to one of the alternative theories they proposed earlier when he realizes how terrible this one appears.
Dude, and they're gonna find out that his ex-wife killed him like that.
Although you have said that.
I played the game with her.
Okay, what's that game? Tell me.
The game that I didn't understand.
How did this game work out? You say it was a game. Tell me what's the game?
The game is, I lie about murdering my son. That's the game.
But he's unable to give a clear answer as to what
are you an imbecile?
allegedly lying to her.
I wanted to torment her. Just say you wanted to torment her, you idiot. Just say I wanted to torment her. I was so angry when she divorced me that I wanted to torment her. And I wanted to fucking play with her mind. And I didn't kill him, but I wanted to fucking torture her mind. And I knew that saying that I was a monster would torture her. Because she was married to me. He should have said that, the fucking retard. But he goes, is this a trap? Fucking imbecile.
What about that part?
Because I knew it was.
You know what they call that?
Yeah.
Consciousness of guilt.
What woman would have you admit to doing something like that and lay next to you at night? I said, I certainly wouldn't. I said, if you're going to do it once, you're going to do it twice.
Mm. So how did it break out from that point?
We put,
In the background of Carl's interrogation, a woman's voice can be heard.
Yeah.
This voice is believed to belong to his wife Cindy, who may have also been speaking with investigators in another room at the same time as him. Though the voice hasn't been confirmed to be Cindy, and much of her conversation is muffled, there are two things that can be heard clearly. It sounds as though she says, "There's no doubt in my mind that he did it," followed by, "That was his fault."
they had once he was more afraid that Cassie was going to get money, that she could get her hands on it.
Expressed that he did not approve of the company that Louis' wife kept and didn't think she was responsible enough to oversee this kind of statement. Carl, not Levi. So Carl said that, not Levi.
You know, and it's like, you know, and it was his call.
He just said that Levi said that, but it wasn't. Carl was the spokesperson. Can't inform me that he. Oh, you lying fuck.
If Cassie can't provide something, that money and Cassie.
But you stole it, didn't you? You fucking piece of shit.
In a jam and needs something right now, and it's for the girls. I will get it.
To this day, does she know that there's a policy?
No, he did not want.
And has his children benefit from that money?
No, and it wasn't supposed to be for now. You know?
If she feels that when Cassie's come to you
Bro.
for money,
She's never come to me for money. No.
have you offered to give her money?
Yes, and I've offered, and like I say, I take out meat to him a lot.
How many times do you think you've done that?
Only once, but a big.
Oh, come on.
When was that?
A month or so ago. But I've been.
Oh.
I mean, you can check my emails. All the
So
time.
you.
I mean, you know, do you need meat? Do you need meat?
Okay, let me get this straight. You got $700,000 and you helped your son's kids one time with meat, one time in 4 years, and you got $700K.
Well, not right now.
Yeah.
I offered her, you know, I buy a Thanksgiving
Ugh.
for her.
Yeah, you know what, guys, give me $700,000 and I'll offer to buy you guys, each and every one of you, a Thanksgiving turkey, bro. It's a nice, you know, it's a good trade. It's a good trade. Fucking piece of shit.
And I know she's struggling.
Carl admits that his two granddaughters
I know
haven't
he's
received any of the money. However, despite this, he tries to portray himself as being generous because he once bought the girls and their mother
Yeah,
a
a big fucking thing of meat.
to them as well on one occasion.
One occasion, bro, but it was big.
Casually chat with Carl to continue to build rapport and to lull Carl
Idiot.
into a false sense of security in their presence. If he's comfortable and relaxed, he'll be more open to talking with them about the subjects that are actually important. Also, they're establishing that his memory is good, contrary to his hinting that his medications make him forget things.
Yeah, he's remembering everything.
The tallest horses in the world. And I've had the biggest mare in the world. She weighed 3,200 pounds.
Oh, that is a
Ended up dying, but the
big
bone in
fucking
her
horse.
foot rotated, and the bone come out the bottom of her foot.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that happen.
And, I mean,
Did that cause her death?
no, she died
Ah.
on fire.
Carl begins discussing a barn fire that killed his horses. And this is where the story starts to get crazy.
Did you get money for her?
It had the old cloth wiring in the barn.
He makes the extra step of mentioning it was proven, which is rather suspicious.
Well, he's in a... No, it's not suspicious, but it's just...
Him throwing that in shows a consciousness of guilt.
No, because he's in a fucking interrogation
Law
room.
enforcement in 2012. It stated how Carl got caught up in the middle of the night, went downstairs, then returned to bed moments later. He told Cindy he'd used the downstairs bathroom, which she found odd. Within a few minutes, Cindy stated, Carl leaped from
Boom,
bed,
the burning.
looked out the window and told Cindy to call 911. The barn was on fire.
In the barn, there was no flame. It was just smoke. I mean, it was just...
Yeah, he burnt it for the fucking money.
Well, why'd you come running out of the house?
Because, well, oh no, there was an orange glow. Like
Wait, was there
hold on.
glow?
Hold on. Getting back. There was I looked out the window and we had like an inch or two of snow, and there was an orange glow out in the driveway.
From the smoke?
No.
Why am I getting confused?
No, just hold on a second. I gotta backtrack here.
Following the barn fire, Carl was interviewed about the details of any insurance policies he had on the animals.
Oh, he had a lot. Oh, he had a lot.
That was destroyed.
Oh, there's no way that... No way that fucking majestic horse isn't insured. There's no way.
Found information to determine whether or not Carl had a legitimate insurance claim, or if the fire could have been...
Yeah, and ask him how his fucking wife died.
Carl talks about the discovery of the fire, which has slightly different details
How'd your wife
from the
die?
story he told detectives.
Who actually discovered the fire? I did by looking out the bedroom window. Your bedroom faces the barn and the
Before he
building
went to
involved in
sleep.
this fire? No, the bedroom faces the road, but I could see the glow of
The
orange
road.
on the ground due to the fact we had a
Over
little
there?
snow coverage.
He also shares a story eerily similar to one he will tell later about another fire.
Did you try
Yeah.
to remove the horses once the fire was discovered? Yes, I went around the side of the barn. We had two big sliding doors. I opened up one, and there was so much smoke that it just forced me back.
And that was on the property you have now?
Yeah, that was the home barn that Dad had.
Carl changes the topic to talk more about himself and his own background.
What did you do in the military?
I was top secret security clearance. I put
But
nuclear
nobody.
bombs together.
No shot.
Is there an
No
MOS?
shot.
It's a 4433 OG-4 blah 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 blah, and there's other things that it's all top secret. That's stuff that we.
So you weren't a truck driver?
No way he was a fucking
So when did you switch from that to top secret?
bomb guy.
That's what it was.
It was top secret because you would haul nuclear weapons.
We had launch code. I carried launch code capabilities. We carried a lot of shit that.
Because you were hauling the weapons.
Oh yeah, and the full size missile.
Boys, I'm not gonna lie. I ate that fucking hamburger. Now I'm falling asleep, dude. Jesus Christ.
Here, Carl tells an unbelievably crazy story of how he was responsible for assembling and delivering nuclear bombs.
Yeah, he assembled them and then he delivered them.
Making launch codes for the U.S. military.
Oh, come on.
He goes on to say that his delivery truck, which
Oh,
he used to
come
deliver
on.
nuclear bombs across the U.S., caught on fire.
Well, now you got to fire the nuke.
That's bad, right? I don't know much about it. It sounds bad to me.
It's always fire with this motherfucker, man.
Put out what he calls
You know what? I'm 27, bro. 28. I've never been in a house fire. There's never been a fucking fire on me. You know, I never burned to fucking anything. This motherfucker's what? Twice my age and he's already been like 4 or 5 fires. Okay, buddy. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure.
If I don't stop, this thing's gonna burn and it's gonna blow and we can't run fast enough. So finally, I stopped. I caught hell about it.
What'd you do after you stopped?
I actually we
You ran
got a
hell,
tire.
right?
We got hell no. Got the tire iron out and we unbolted the tires.
Huh?
Started back up. The tires fell off, and the faster I could go, the better it got. And we finally got to a launch control facility, which it looks like a hotel fenced in. They actually allowed us, for the first time, we brought out another trailer, and they actually let us move the nuke. I mean, the first thing you walk in, you learn 36 ways how to kill a guy with your bare hands, because you
Oh, okay, this guy's fucking just lying, bro.
down the road, you got a
He's lying, bro.
you got a pistol, you got an 870 Remington with an 8-inch barrel with a pump on top, aiming out your door. And it's like anybody gets near the truck, you kill them.
How many people do you have to kill to protect the truck?
the hope is that if they can get him
Nah,
to
this guy's full of shit.
smaller, such as killing someone under military orders, perhaps it could make it easier to Carl to admit to killing someone else, like his son Levi.
He's full of shit.
Never on the truck.
36 ways to kill a man. Go fuck yourself, bro.
Our security cops, they have to ask permission to put a round in the chamber. But us, being who we are, we're God. We don't have to answer. I go to work and once we're off base, shirt comes off, shorts come on, t-shirt, no t-shirt. We didn't answer to the government.
This case has already been a wild ride, but investigators soon uncovered something from Carl's past that's even more twisted than they ever could have imagined. Rewind to the
I'm
early
struggling with a
1980s.
fucking hamburger,
Carl and
boys.
Christina Chris Alexander met at the Grand Forks, North Dakota Air Force Base and married in 1983. In January of 1984, their first child, Aaron, was born. The following year, their son Levi came along.
That baby's fat as fuck.
His arrival in 1986 rounded out the family of 5.
Baby kitty.
According to Chris's sister Colette, it was no secret that finances were a constant stressor for the family. After Carl's stint in the Air Force concluded, the family moved to Carl's home state of New York in 1986. Then, in 1988, they relocated once again to Chris's hometown of Murphy's, California. A terrible accident then occurred on the 1st of January, 1991.
My wife had passed away, and
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
No, you killed her, bro. You killed her. You killed her. He killed her 100%.
The couple's home.
She died in a fucking house fire. Bro, how many fires are there around this motherfucker? First wife, house fire. The barn, house fire. What other was a fire? There was a third fire, no?
Somehow caught fire. Carl managed to get each child out, but Chris wasn't as fortunate.
Oh, in the place you're talking about?
Yeah.
That's probably take
and
about.
I threw my kids. I threw Levi out of the house by his hair, and the girls went out the window on the other end of the house.
How'd they get out the window?
And I broke the window.
Okay, this is where he came in here and he took Levi
Dude,
out.
he killed his fucking ex.
This is
He
Levi's
killed his son. He was gonna kill this woman. He's gonna go on a rampage killing everybody.
The smoke got her, and her, is what the coroner said. He said she wasn't burned bad, and but he said just remember
Was she not with the kids or something? Or?
Well, they were all sleeping, and she was up in the bathroom, and
Oh, bro, she was torched, apparently.
and so she somehow, the way he says, because we had a puppy, a Dalmatian puppy, and we had kerosene heaters in the house, and the dog spilled the kerosene like 3-4 weeks before.
While taking a bath, Chris became trapped.
3-4 weeks before they spilled
the
it.
fire had ignited right outside the bathroom door, in the very spot the kerosene spill Carl spoke of had occurred. Tragically, Chris died of smoke inhalation. At the time of the initial investigation,
This guy's full of shit.
was
Killed literally his whole fucking family.
But discrepancies between Carl's recounting of events in 1991 and Carl's current version are overwhelming. He tells the detectives the kerosene spill occurred 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, that's a lot of weeks
However,
before.
according to documents dating back to the
2 or 3 days.
investigation, Carl
A day and a
originally
half.
stated
Okay,
that the
yeah.
spill had occurred a day and a half prior to the fire.
This here's the bathroom where Christina was found.
Evidently, he laid the light out here.
Where? Now that's all documented?
It's here. I guess the bathroom door is here. And kerosene got spilled here. That's where they presumed it started.
They said she was dead when she opened the door. Because they said...
Where was she in the house?
She was in the middle of the house. The house is like 80 to 100 feet long.
And they say there was paper sitting on the kerosene?
There was a piece of cardboard.
Okay, I want a picture of this. Here.
Jesus.
I want a picture of this window.
I mean, it was
So she had no windows to get out?
No. And,
Boys, I'm fucking struggling, man. I'm struggling over here. I'm falling asleep, man.
No windows to jump out of?
No. Well, when I broke the window, the fireball came out and burnt my eyes together, burnt my face. I mean, blew me right off the...
After the kids? After getting the kids out?
No, to get to them.
Jesus
So
Christ.
it blew me off, and the kids are still in the house. And my eyes were burnt shut, so I pulled them apart and couldn't see worth shit. And my son had got to the window, and I got him by the hair.
This is Levi?
Yeah, and chucked him out. And I got the girls, and
Once again, he paints himself as the hero of the story by detailing how he saved his children from the fire.
Bro, I'm trying to wake up, bro. I'm dying.
An investigation was carried out.
Alright, sitting down like this, not gonna help.
Resulted in many unanswered questions.
They fucking killed everybody, man.
Carl eventually received a life insurance payout in the amount of $200,000.
They fucking killed everybody, bro.
After the horrendous fire
But $200, go fuck
Chris's
yourself.
older sister
Bro, for $200,000, go fuck yourself. But not her.
Make no effort to save Chris.
Bro, for $200,000, go fuck yourself.
Chilling accounts that occurred very shortly after Chris's death. After Colette received word of the fire, she drove the 3-hour trek from her home in Chico, California, to her father's home in Murphys, California. Chris's oldest child, Erin, who was 6 years old at the time, met her Aunt Colette at the door upon her arrival. She told Colette that their house had burnt down and her mother had gone to heaven.
Oh my God.
What came next was something Colette couldn't bear to hear. According to little Erin, Chris was yelling for Carl, but he'd ignored her. Also, within the very early days following the fire, Colette informed Carl of her wish to clothe Chris for the funeral. Carl responded that she couldn't.
What?
When she inquired as to why, he explained that Chris was a crispy critter. Naturally, Colette was taken aback. However, she'd been blindsided so hard by grief that she left that stone unturned. Perhaps she didn't do all she could handle at that time, but she would never forget those words.
Bro, did this guy just roast his roasted wife? Bro, he fucking burns her and then he says, yeah, she's a crispy critter. What? Dude, that's satanic. That's actually satanic as fuck. That's satanic as fuck. Crispy critter. Holy fuck, what's wrong with you?
No reason he couldn't have got to that bathroom. No reason.
Doing what she could at the time, Colette used a video camera loaded with a tape that started off happily with a family birthday party.
Happy birthday to you.
Tragically, the next thing the tape would record was personal documentation of her sister's murder scene. A murder that was ruled as an accident. Clearly, she didn't believe that this fire was any accident.
Yeah, she didn't believe
and
it.
that Carl had indeed murdered her sister.
They told me at first she was a closet alcoholic.
Oh, come on.
And I'm like, my wife had one drink, and that was the first night we ever slept together. And that was the last drink she ever took, so I don't know if you take that as a compliment.
Doesn't sound like one.
You know, she never drank. She was religious.
Well, I missed something totally. Why would they think she's a closet alcoholic?
Because her blood count or something. But what it was is that I never knew is that when you die, your blood boils or something. And your body produces alcohol. And I'm like, because they told me she committed. I'm sorry. Not this woman.
The detective comments that Carl has had a tough life.
You had a tough life.
So I just sit there and said, you know what? I mean, I was making.
Oh, he just went past it like nothing.
You lost your wife.
However, Carl thinks
he just went past it.
With his house. It doesn't even seem to occur to Carl that he was referring to the losses of his wife and son.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the water.
And I've been through hell and every freaking.
Oh, now he accepts it.
So you lost your son
And your wife.
and your wife and those horses. The horse?
And the horses.
My big mare and 3 babies. You know, and the thing is like.
Well, I gotta ask, just because now that's brought up.
That's fine.
Bro, 2 of those to fires. Oof.
200 on her. There was insurance on all the kids.
Bro.
You insured your kids?
Yeah, the wife. You know, there was a little insurance policy on each kid.
Okay.
Carl was likely trying to make it look less
Bro.
suspicious that his wife died in the fire by claiming that he didn't just have life insurance on her, but also for his 3 kids who survived the fire. He may have been trying to imply that he didn't kill his wife for money, because if that had been...
Yeah, he would have killed the kids.
He would have had a reason to kill his children.
Well, he killed one of the children, though. He killed one of them. Right? He killed Levi. He got to him.
However, it's quite unusual for a parent to have life insurance policies for their young children in the first place. Back in 1991, after Chris died, Carl reached out to investigators to ask them if they believed he had set the fire. Though he claimed that he didn't, his explanation as to why is baffling, to say the least. He told the
I would have burned the kids because I love my wife a lot more than I do the kids.
Because he loved his wife a lot more than the kids, and they're driving him crazy.
Bro.
It was certainly disturbing, but Carl went even
If the kids had gone, I'd have $500,000.
he would have $500,000.
Because I had insurance on me when I was growing up. My parents put on us.
Bro, what are these fucking comments?
Perhaps because he's afraid detectives.
Dude, what are these comments by him?
This is a very different manner in which he normally tells stories, leaving few details out, as he clearly loves to hear himself talk on topics that aren't incriminating.
Well, you remember how Levi's, we talked, Levi's insurance was taken out pretty much soon before his death. Was that scenario?
No, it was farther than that.
The detective is asking this question because he's implying that Carl took an insurance policy out on Chris right before her death, which is similar to what happened with Levi. Carl knows the closer in time to Chris's death, the more suspicious it appears,
Yeah.
so he will claim it was further out.
But was it though? But was it though?
What's your deceased wife's name?
Chris.
So about how long before do you think?
It's.
Was it like in other people's minds, like relatively soon?
Oh, bro, it was 2 months, wasn't it? 2 months. 2 months.
It's gotta be. I don't know. It's gotta be. It's gotta be like 3-4 months or something.
Oh, okay. So it was a significant. Well, actually, that's not a long time.
In actuality, the application was signed and the premium was collected.
Yeah, this motherfucker got lucky as fuck, bro.
Just a mere 3 weeks before Cindy died in the fire.
So she was like 3 or 4 months. She's insured through your job, and then the fire occurs.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, and
It's striking.
believe me, if anybody.
Were you thinking like, I can't believe how does this
No,
happen?
3 fucking weeks.
And my
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I'm not gonna lie. If I take out a fucking life insurance policy on my wife, and then she dies, I am not taking a life insurance policy on anybody else, bro. I'm gonna start believing that shit's cursed. That shit's cursed, bro. And I'm gonna lose my whole family if I fucking insure them. I'm not gonna be like this guy who takes a life insurance policy on his son and then kills him 2 fucking months after, bro. What the fuck? What the fuck? I'm one of those people that says, hell no, bro, that shit cursed. Never again.
Murphy's Law. You must be.
I was in Murphy's, California.
Well, that must have been Murphy's Law.
I was in Murphy's.
You have got to be.
So did you go through the ringer because of that being a suspicious circumstance?
Well, no. It was the fact that she died at home and they got to go through the whole gauntlet.
Who's that?
The fire department. I never got invested by anybody else.
Oh, so where's the gauntlet?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Push through the gauntlet?
Well, they're fire investigators.
So it wasn't a criminal investigation?
No.
So there was no gauntlet. I just want to.
No, it just. I guess when you lose
How?
your spouse and you got 3 little kids and all of a sudden you lost it sounds bad. The shoes and clothes that I wore and the underwear I wore weren't mine.
Instead of saying anything.
Oh, that sounds mine. How about your wife fucking dying, bro? A horrible death. This motherfucker like, nah, I had to use her panties, bro. Yeah, it was embarrassing, dude, you know? A man coming out, bro, a man coming out with brown panties. You let her die, dog. You're not a man. You're not a man, you're a fucking worm.
He's focused on himself and how he had to wear
The
borrowed
fuck?
clothes.
People gave me after the fire? Yeah, I lost everything. I lost vehicles. I lost every possession I owned.
You lost your wife.
Yeah, but I'm wearing borrowed clothes.
Yeah, no, that sucks.
I mean, I had a guy that.
Oh my god, bro, this guy. Yeah, he's.
All your possessions.
He mentions losing
Doesn't even say his wife.
It doesn't express anything to suggest that his wife was the most significant loss. Most people wouldn't be concerned with losing their things in a fire when their spouse has died in the same fire.
Hey, bro.
You know, I got burns.
I lost my things, bro. Yeah. He lost the FBI shirt, female body inspector shirt, bro. One of his favorites.
Oh, they took me right to the hospital with an ambulance. I mean, eyes were burnt shut.
He also talks about how he got burned, but doesn't mention any injuries his children may have had.
It's traumatic. It must be.
All about himself.
You know what it felt like? It felt like somebody hit me in the face with 5 baseball bats at the same time.
You mean the fire? I'm talking about the loss of your wife.
Oh, well.
The loss was that you were living in this place where there was a bathroom that had no window.
Right.
The detectives already know the bathroom had a boarded-up window, and are just slowly getting Carl to reveal the truth about the bathroom and the fact that it did have a window that he boarded up.
Did it? The lawsuit?
No, because they sued me. The homeowners sued me.
For what?
For burning down their freaking house. There's never any cause. The only thing they could say was kerosene. and the.
Yeah, he's retarded, bro.
For a neglectful thing? Or?
No, they had no smoke detector for renting for.
But did you notice, bro? Did you notice how?
They had nothing.
Did you notice how much of a retard he is, right? They're asking him about one murder. And this motherfucker says, bro, you know what? Like, I mean, I got unlucky with my ex-wife too, bro. She died in a fire too, you know? And I lost my horses in a fire too. And I also had a life insurance policy on them too. and the detectives are like, oh, wait, keep going, bro. Yeah, keep going. They were gonna peg him, bro, for the killing of his kid, his one kid, and now they're gonna get him for his wife. They're gonna get him for arson, and they're gonna get him for fucking scamming the insurance companies. Oof. Oof.
The window was like that big and it was boarded up.
Look, bro. They were asking him about one case, and this motherfucker just. Hey, here's 3 other cases, bro. Here's the rest, bro. Oh my god, dude. This guy is the catch of their career. 100%. Are you kidding me? You think you got a guy who killed one person and you find out he's got a massive history and you didn't even know. This guy just gave it all up because there was no record of this. There was no police investigation of this. No police investigation. Just the fucking fire department. They investigated. Right? There was no police investigation. So he wasn't, you know, if he didn't fucking say anything, they wouldn't have known. They wouldn't have known. How are they gonna know? You know, the fire department and the police station, they usually hate themselves, right? They hate each other. They're not gonna communicate. But this motherfucker's like, no, bro, it's the fire department. Them fucking retards. Now, investigated by the police? Hell no, bro. Never. Although I don't know why, because you know what? It is kind of fishy. What an imbecile, dude. What an imbecile.
80-pound woman? There's no way. You could.
Why'd you board it up?
Because it was all broken. Everything was shot. Oh, yeah. You know, and it's like the frame was shot. The frame of the house was shot. And,
when did you board it up?
Like 8 months before.
Carl says he boarded up the bathroom window 8 months before the fire, but according to Colette, the window was still intact during her Christmas visit, just days before the fire occurred.
My family later on came out, got me, and brought me back home because I was just.
When did you
screwed up? Week and a half after she died.
It's no secret that Carl is answering questions untruthfully. For one, he says he moved a week and a half after Chris's death. In actuality, Carl and his children boarded a plane bound for his home state of New York on January 4th of 1991.
3 days, 5 days.
Only 3 days after Chris died.
Do you love Cindy?
I do. I really do. Even to this minute, she had her demons coming into the marriage, which was her alcohol. You know, but at the time, I never knew that.
Why would she try to set you up?
To get everything.
What?
The house.
What everything, bro? You have nothing.
Well, I got the farm. That's 300 and some thousand. Because she knew I was going to go after her for the house and the money for the girls.
Huh?
She has nothing.
With Create Studio Pro, you can create amazing character explainers just like Pixar.
Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. And go fuck Pixar. Fuck you, bitch.
What's suspicious about Levi's death? In your opinion, what is suspicious about it?
To me?
To us, in your opinion, you're a smart guy.
That the fucking.
Just.
Bruh, I'm not gonna lie. There's no way that winch, that fucking thing, okay, that was used for railroads. No way that shit's breaking, dude. Under a truck? No way that shit's failing, dude. Are you kidding me? They use that for railroad tracks, dude. That's not some measly fucking piece of metal, bro. That's like this thick. That shit ain't breaking, dude. That shit probably weighs like, what, 200 pounds? That's like... That's heavy duty shit.
So she must get that from you being an analytical person.
The raising him up look.
I don't know. I mean, well, I guess you can look at it, you know.
What is suspicious?
I guess it was, I don't.
Oh, bro, come on.
Oh, yeah, because I'm the last last person that's
You're the last person, the insurance.
There are a lot of people that way. You know? There are a lot of people that, you know, you're the last one to see.
And no, and you told your ex-wife that it was you. You forgot that one.
Has got to be looked into. I'm not stupid. I'd say I'm not a rocket scientist, but in a way I am, yes.
Carl again displays his grandiose attitude by calling himself.
Yeah, guys, listen, I'm not a rocket scientist, but yeah, in a way I am, bro. In a way I am.
I have no problem telling you so.
I understand what you're saying, believe me. I mean,
Yeah.
I understand what you're looking at.
Right, I feel so much better now that I'm standing up.
There are some things that you don't know about.
At this
What
point,
things?
Carl must be wondering what else the detectives have on him that they haven't yet revealed.
You were gone at the funeral. I'm sorry to interrupt. How long were you and Cindy gone at the funeral?
Over 4 hours.
4 hours.
4.5, maybe a little longer.
Think about that for a moment.
The investigators are about to confront Carl and drop a bomb on his story.
Do you know how accurate they can do with the cause of death based on body temperature and atmospheric temperature?
All I know is what they tell me.
It's accurate. Within, 15 to 25 minutes?
Yeah, maybe.
So there's a big problem.
I mean, I don't know. I'm thinking 4.5, maybe a little longer, because I know it was after 11 o'clock when we left, I think. And we didn't get back till it was like right around, I think, 4:30 or so. Right in, you know.
We revisited all those things and all the things that were done at that time of his death.
Okay, but hold on. How was the guy crushed? Okay, because that matters. Because look, I know that they can take body temperature, right, and see the time of day, death with the atmospheric fucking thing, but if he was touching something that makes heat transfer faster, like, I don't know, any fucking solid, like the ground, okay, or metal, or a wall, anything like that, that transfers heat a lot faster than just the atmosphere. So you'll get colder quicker, right? You'll get colder quicker. So it's probably not that accurate.
Many places, they've been state police.
Probably not that accurate.
An analysis has been done that can put it within a 15-minute window. It's not as precise as we'd like it to be, but basically, or specifically, it was before he left. He died.
When the detectives reveal to Carl that Levi was dead before Carl and his wife left for the funeral, he reaches his arms up to his chest and holds them there, which can be seen as a protective position. He then moves one hand to rub his chest and upper shoulder, which could be a self-soothing behavior to...
He's getting pressed. He's getting pressed. They're pressing him right now. He's getting pressed right now.
Is that Levi was dead. He may not have died in your... I wish I could say he died in your presence. But when you walk back in there, if you're telling us the truth and saying you had a conversation with him, you're lying.
He died.
No, I had a conversation with him, I'll tell you that.
Well, he was either dead when you walked in there or as you walked out. That's fact.
No, well, I disagree because I know the conversation I had with him.
Unless the only way is if he died while you were there or before you came in. You see what I'm saying?
Well, I'm not sitting here speculating, but, you know, couldn't you die 2 minutes after?
See.
No. That's the one thing that we beat them on.
Come on.
No, that's what we beat them on. We gave right them with a window based on Cindy and based on what you said.
Nah, listen. If he had a good attorney, the attorney could say what I said, bro. Alright? Like, listen, it's not gonna be that accurate, you're lying. Okay? It cannot be that accurate. Okay? Do you know the humidity? Do you know what thing was touching the guy? No, you don't. Like, you can't make it within 15 to 25 fucking minutes. Also, if it's within 15 to 25 minutes, could have had the conversation. I was out. I was no longer in range. I left, and then the kid died immediately after. Right? If the conversation lasted 3 minutes, it's still within the time frame, but this guy doesn't have a fucking attorney, so he's gonna get cooked. He's gonna get cooked, dude. He's gonna get cooked.
And the people who were there, like that fire crew and all that stuff,
he's gonna get cooked.
To eliminate the possibility that he died 2 minutes after, or 3 minutes. There's a window there, but
No.
they reverse it, and that's just a fact.
I'm sorry, but you can't just reverse it that quickly, bro. If I touch this, and I die, right, and my arm is touching this shit, I'm gonna be cooler faster. I'm gonna be cooler fucking faster.
And that's fine. And I understand you guys are being as nice as you can about it.
And also, within what? How many hours do you want for the body to reach the same temperature as the atmosphere? Right? Once you're touching it with your back, right? The ground. Probably like 5 hours. I don't know. A couple of hours. And then it's pretty much gonna be exact. So you wouldn't know.
You come back with, so you think I killed Lee?
Nah, bro. What they said was a lie. What they said right there, that's a lie. That's a lie.
She goes, I know.
You can't be that accurate. Sorry. And after a certain amount of time, after a couple of hours, I don't think you can tell when they died anymore. Just by temperature. Just by temperature, you can't tell. Bullshit. Bullshit, dude. The temperature would be the same after a couple of hours. And look, imagine you're laying on the ground, right? Your back is touching the ground. So your back's touching the ground. You're going to be cooler way faster than if you just died like this and nothing touching you. Right? After a couple of hours, there's no way, dude. There's no way they're going to know if it was 10 hours, 12 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours. No shot. Unless you ate something and then they could trace it back. But even then, when you die, your stomach's probably going to keep working. Right? Because you got the acid. Okay, then digestive stuff. I mean, you could get a guess through a lot of methods, but temperature alone, you're full of shit, bro. You're capping. Nah, you're lying, dude.
Nobody's gonna come out and say,
But they don't need to tell you the truth. Yeah, they don't need to tell you the truth. That's the thing, you see? They don't need to tell you the truth, bro.
Well, that's what I tried figuring out is that what is she after?
Yeah, they were lying. They were lying to him.
what really happened. I know, in fact, I know.
100% they were lying to him.
And I don't know if it had to do with the drugs you were taking at the time. I don't know if it was because of what he was doing.
See, they're giving him an out with the drugs.
He had turned around. At that time in his
They're giving him an out with the drugs.
6-8 months.
Let me tell you something, Carl. Your tone of voice doesn't say that to me when you talk about him.
Oh, how can you?
I know, but I'm not gonna sit here and blow smoke up your butt and tell you that, you know,
Carl, my butt's smoking, man.
Well,
Kyle, look at it! I'm gonna get some water, boys. Hold on.
Given all of the evidence and mounting pressure of the interrogation, he likely knows that with the physical evidence proving that Levi was deceased at the time Carl left the house, he has two options. 1, admit that he killed Levi, or 2, admit that he knew Levi was dead, but didn't have anything to do with it.
If you really truly felt like what you did was right, and which I think you did in a minute.
All right, I did not kill Levi. Oh, that's just a message. There's no way I could have. But he was dead when I went in there.
Okay, tell us about that.
Oh, okay. See, there you go.
He chooses the second option and admits Levi was dead. The lieutenant immediately stands up and pats Carl on the shoulder, showing approval of Carl's confession. He gives him some positive reassurance.
Get him to talk a little bit more.
More than 3 hours in, the detectives are now making progress.
You can do it. You can do it.
Bro, this is the fakest friend touch ever.
I walked in there
and he was already crushed.
You know, give him his money and holy
He's crushed.
and I just blanked.
Hardest day of your life? Why'd you keep it a secret for so long?
That's why he said he didn't kill him, but he capitalized. Right? That he capitalized on it. But nah, bro. Oh, you fucked up, dude. Because you know what? If he got him looking and it didn't kill him...
I blame myself every day. Just like you said.
So when you went back in, he was
dead. And I freaked. I just like.
Oh, come on. You expect me to believe that?
It didn't happen. There's no way. You know, I mean, it's just.
Oh, it didn't happen. There's no way. So you just left him there.
My life for that.
So you just left him there. You didn't even call the 911. You didn't even call the cops. Didn't even.
And he also places himself at the scene, which is a step in the right direction and likely enough
bro.
for a conviction.
Bro, he comes in, kid's fucking dying, doesn't even call 911. Yo, help me, help me, help me. Nothing, bro. He's just like, ah, fuck. Well, gotta plan another funeral. And he leaves for the funeral, bro. Like, come on, bro. Really? You expect him to believe this shit, you piece of shit?
The officers will continue to press him to see if they can get him to admit
Yeah,
his
Lincoln.
death was intentional.
Yeah, better luck next time, bro.
Can you imagine?
I freaked.
Oh, I can't.
I mean, can you imagine? No, can you imagine walking in? And a day later, 2 days later, and saying, and I know from being on a farm, a live animal compared to a dead animal.
So you knew he was dead when you walked in?
I reached out and touched his leg.
Why didn't?
I knew. You just.
So why didn't you call anybody?
I knew, and he was. His legs were blue.
The lieutenant is sitting uncomfortably close to Carl for a prolonged period of time. While he appears to be very supportive, sometimes
yeah, he's pressing him. He's pressing him. Look, he's pressing him. He's
proximity may also be
look, he's putting pressure.
To confess.
Confess!
Is being very
demon.
Nice and understanding to make him feel like he's his ally.
But he's also pressing,
on the role of good
confusing him. He's confusing him.
Bad cop.
No, I jacked it up to get him out when we come home.
Okay.
You know.
Why didn't you jack it up before?
The back is like this wide, narrow, and we had it under the front bumper. And the back two wheels were on the ground, so that's why it could teeter. But he must have been reefing on something because he still had the wrenches in his hands. I had to almost break his fingers to get the wrenches out of his hands when we come home. I could never kill my kid. I don't give a damn if you gave me $20 billion.
Ah, bullshit, bro. You killed your wife, too. How about your ex-wife, bro? If I give you $5 billion, would you have killed her?
You're almost there.
Yep, would have killed her.
I know you pushed that truck.
I did not. No way.
I know you pushed that truck. Look.
And gently confronts him.
He's pressing him now.
I know you did.
No, I didn't.
He wasn't dead when you.
I did not push the truck over.
You leaned on it.
There's no way.
Leaned on it.
No way.
Leaned.
I don't think you want to believe it.
No, I don't.
Leaned.
But I think you had a
You went, oops.
And I really like what that reason is.
I don't have a good reason because I didn't do it.
Notice how quickly Carl goes from crying and making unemotional denials.
And maybe it was. I don't know. I really like to know because.
No, I didn't. I will never say I did because I didn't.
How about your wife? Did you burn her?
And you went back out with Cindy and spent 4.5 hours.
And all I could do was
just
think
living
about
with that.
It would be very unusual for
Oh,
someone
bro, you would have broken, bro. Oh, bro, you would have broken.
For 4+ hours,
what the fuck?
Especially at a funeral, which may amplify one's thoughts about.
Yeah, bro, are you kidding me? Nah.
Shocked and devastated. Doesn't really make sense.
You don't know how hard it was. It's just like it didn't happen. It was like
something you said to Cindy really stuck in my head, Carl, and it made me.
I took advantage, is what he's gonna say. Watch.
I admire you for it. There was a time when you were talking to her, one of your conversations, and you said,
I took advantage of the situation.
What I did, having to live every day, was harder than anything else.
Oh,
harder than if someone had killed me.
I could never. Oh, I mean, what I seen that day and what I didn't do for him, I could never change. I can never change. How do I tell my family? How do I tell my kids that, oh, geez, he was dead and I walked away? How do you do that?
Oh, I can see where that would be difficult.
I mean, because every day it's in your head that I left him there when he needed me most. Yes, it killed him. about as instant when you have a truck dropped on you, you know, and when it fell, that's a lot of weight. I'm not stupid.
I appreciate you being truthful with us in the fact that he was dead before you left there. But here's the problem.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. You made a decision that
Yeah.
you came out of that building having just been shocked with the fact that your son was dead.
Yeah, you didn't go in and go, you went in there and you went, eat.
It's impossible to believe.
I'm sorry.
That's what you did. Oh, come on, bro.
I'm not going to sit here and I am not going to tell you I had anything to do with it.
Oh, but you did, though.
Notice the way he
Yeah, my third partner would the same thing.
Tell you. He doesn't say he didn't do it. He just says
How about you don't
tell them he did.
How about you don't sit there? How about you stand?
I made a decision
To kill your son.
out on my son and not get him up from underneath the truck.
Why?
I panicked.
Why, though? It's a great question.
I panicked. I just like,
Carl?
I panicked.
What the
Would we look like it?
fuck is that, bro?
And the deputy's report and things you said and the way you acted.
Hey, I don't think your name is legally TOS.
I was bawling like a freaking baby.
And he's got an action man. Are you into...
that contradicts his version of events.
Okay.
They will keep doing this throughout the interrogation to reveal the strength of evidence against him in the hopes he loses resolve and confesses.
Yeah.
4 hours later. Yeah, 4.5.
That name, weird. That comment, weird. That face, weird.
You're getting so close to me.
I'm not going to tell you I had anything to do with it. I'm not.
Oh, you're not gonna tell me, but you did though.
I can't. I'm not going to tell you something I didn't do.
Oh, come on.
Don't ever make any mistake in here.
I know.
Come on.
Don't ever misconstrue what we want here. We only want the truth.
Tell me you killed
I'm
him.
the one that jacked it up, and I live with that every freaking day.
And you
Carl will
pushed
only
it.
admit that he made the choice to jack up
Pushed
the
it.
truck. The detective exits the room again, leaving the lieutenant alone with Carl. It may feel less confrontational for Carl to be able to talk to someone one-on-one, and the detectives may feel Carl will be more likely to confess the...
Yeah, because Carl already touched him sexually twice. You went...
You know, you live, I mean,
You know,
I know
I think that you probably really think that. I think you wish
You went like this.
I do. I've lived, I mean, look at me. I'm a train wreck.
Oh no, you're not as successful as my boy Trainwrecks. You're nowhere near.
Killing your wife, your kids, your uncles, your parents, your...
It may have been a slip of the
Oh,
tongue,
bro, you killed your wife and your
You can
kid.
justify killing your wife, your kids,
Yeah.
your uncles, your parents.
Bro.
At this point, he's been in the interrogation room.
You
talking
killed
for
your
7
wife
hours,
and your
so it's not
kids.
surprising that he
I
may
mean,
have
and your
messed
kid.
up. It's possible that as soon as he let the word wife slip out,
Yeah.
he realized his mistake, so he added in uncles and parents to try to throw the detective off.
I mean, it's different. It is different if you killed...
I didn't say you killed your wife.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, you know...
Oh my god.
Carl, did you?
No.
Oh!
No, through that. No,
Carl?
no, and no way in hell.
Carl?
Losing Levi is... We
Carl?
finally got him going in life. And Cindy and I talked about it. I said, finally. You know, it's like the load's lifted off.
Carl?
Babysit him. I don't know how many times we went down to the sheriff's department and bailed his ass out of trouble, paying fines. I mean, thousands of dollars in fines.
Oh, about 707,000, maybe?
I thought I saw when we were going over the past, I thought he caused a CPS report to be blown in on you too, or something like that.
Child Protective Services?
You hit him or something, and
oh yeah, well I hit him.
Then there was one about because there was some kind of fight because he accused him of killing his mother or something like that.
Oh, he pressed him.
It's strange.
Look, he pressed him.
Accused Carl of killing his mother.
Levi pressed him.
But then years later, Levi agrees to take out life insurance and have Carl as the sole beneficiary. This oddity is never brought up in this.
Yeah, I don't know why Levi would say
Levi
yes.
Trust his father as the sole beneficiary after accusing Carl of killing his
Yeah,
mother.
that's kind of weird.
Never be known. Levi may have trusted his father later in life, as most sons do.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
regardless of the struggles and abuse he experienced in the past. It's also possible Carl
maybe
lied to Levi about who would benefit from the life insurance
it's
payout.
possible that Levi got really angry and said, "You killed my mom," but then he didn't actually believe it, you know?
The lieutenant is providing another motive as to why Carl may have wanted to kill Levi, beyond the money. In Carl's mind, Levi was responsible for getting him in trouble with the CPS. This may be another reason why Carl chose to kill Levi and have his death versus his other kids be the one he profits from.
Let me tell you what I think, because you, about this whole thing.
Mr. Crowley.
My opinion is
As soon as the detective says he wants to tell Carl what he thinks, Carl leans forward and faces slightly away from him. This
he doesn't want it.
Indicates that he wants to avoid.
He doesn't want it. He don't want to. He don't want to get pressed. He don't want to get pressed. But it's okay. You'll get pressed.
To garner sympathy by
oh, you're getting pressed. You're getting pressed. You're getting cooked. Hey, look at me. Look at me. Hey, Carl.
Which would increase the
hey, Carl.
need for oxygen.
Suck it, bitch.
You know what? There are some stern circumstances in your life.
Yeah.
You know, your wife.
Your wife? That's bizarre. Your horses? That's bizarre. And your son?
It's like, you know,
That's
Hmm.
bizarre.
we all laugh about that.
I would never find
We've all laugh. We all laugh about
This is a rather
things.
disturbing statement, as there's nothing funny about losing both his wife and his son in freak accidents.
I want to go back.
And his horses.
I've never read it, so.
He had the worst, biggest fucking horse, bro. He had the worst, biggest fucking mare, and he killed her.
But he refuses it. Nonetheless, this is a gesture of goodwill, and also necessary so we can't say he was treated inhumanely there without food or water. Also, the more at ease Carl feels, the more likely he'll be to open up.
What a piece of shit.
You were the catalyst to helping your son get this insurance. That's what this says.
Carl's claims contradict a witness statement from Levi's life insurance agent, Anthony,
Oh.
also referred to as Tony. In his statement, Tony said that Carl was the spokesperson for Levi when they went to get him insured.
I think Tony wrote that or something.
Yeah, that's kind of what it kind of says. It was like you were bringing
You
him
look like shit, don't I?
how bad the drugs must have been ravaging him.
The lieutenant scoots his chair in close to Carl again, aligning himself.
Yeah, he's on his side. Look, I'm on your side, bro. I'm on your
This is
side.
only done to make Carl feel like he's
Smart.
on his side, and Carl can trust
Smart.
him.
Let me see. Let me see.
Joking, laughing with him and touching him like he's his pal.
Ah, Carl, let me see. Let me see the picture, bro. Let me see. Oh, you're looking good.
I was a lot thinner. This
Oh,
is
you're looking good.
really cooking with drugs.
No, that takes a slightly different path.
Wait, hold on. You were cooking drugs?
Some more new.
Wait, hold on. So you killed your wife, killed your son, and you were also cooking drugs.
Of evidence that he claims they
Huh.
just received. In actuality, this is untrue and just a tactic to make Carl uneasy and wonder if more things will continue to come out.
I had somebody interview this person.
Okay.
All right. And he says, right or wrong, just what he's saying, he says that you knew about the accidental part of the policy.
See, I can't remember. I did. I can't.
But here's the thing. All right, now that's now a matter of record.
Right. Well, that's
So he
fine.
discussed it with you.
Nevertheless, the lieutenant mentions the fact that Carl knew about the accidental death rider when he helped Levi sign up for the policy. Notice how Carl immediately leans away from the detective as he says this. He wants to put distance between himself and this seemingly new information, which is putting him in a negative light.
Like I say,
It's starting to look more and more like the
I know.
insurance angle.
Yeah.
Which is why I think
he did it for insurance.
Well, I know you keep saying that,
I know
Tom, but
in black and white, yeah.
Tom, you keep saying that, but you're wrong.
I think that if you're going to help yourself, I
Hmm.
think you need to explain, Carl, because like I said, you and I are already on, we're agreeing to disagree.
Yeah, we're agreeing. Yeah, we agree.
But if you're going to let it go in this direction,
No, I don't want it to go in that.
No, don't let it, bro.
it's going on its own. We're not making it.
Yeah, it's going. It's gone. I didn't write it. I didn't write the report. Did you?
I've been spending the last couple weeks talking to her and thinking about things, and it's like.
Well, I know you wanted to get behind her back.
Well, and
You said you loved her, and I think you do.
Ah.
And a lot of it was, and this is sad to say, I almost believed her that
She wanted you back.
I said what she wanted to hear.
That she wanted you back. She'd take you back. Makes sense.
Carl refuses to accept blame and now tries to
Makes sense, Carl. It makes sense.
that he confessed to his wife so she would take him back. This makes no sense, and he's getting desperate to come up
Oh,
with
it makes
excuses.
perfect sense. It makes perfect sense.
Levi's wife.
Since he was 7.
Oh, bro, that's a kid. 7 to 21.
Wanted to hear the truth. Is what I'm assuming. I can't made you think that a mother wants to
Well,
eat
that's
a child?
that's the thing. That's why I kept
Bro,
talking to
15
you.
years a mother.
Credibility and make his story more believable
15
by
years a
claiming that he
fucking
talked
mother
to
and
his
you killed that
niece
kid.
about Cindy setting him up. This is the exact strategy he used earlier on the same
Al?
topic, except he had talked to his daughter about it.
I talked to my daughter, and my daughter's like, she is setting you up. It's like,
Yes, but Carl.
Oh, I didn't.
You never actually come out and said that you killed Levi. You did.
I know.
She didn't bring it up.
Yeah, but you could tell. That's why I kept fishing for more.
Why didn't you just tell her, hey, the truth is, he was dead when I walked in there?
Yeah, you idiot. See, you didn't think about that one.
When asked why he didn't just tell his wife the truth, that Levi was dead when he walked in,
Okay.
Carl responded, "Could you admit it?"
Okay. So you couldn't admit that when you walked in he was dead, but you could admit that you killed him. I'm sorry, Carl. Are you a retard? Are you a retard? How is finding your son dead worse than killing your son? Yeah, I think he's retarded. I think he's a little bit of a
It
retard.
doesn't make logical sense that it was easier to tell his wife a lie that he killed Levi rather than the truth that Levi was dead when he walked in.
What a fucking imbecile.
Since I've been on all the medicine, there's times that I drive in a car and I get
Oh, so now you're using medicine.
and I get freaking panic attacks.
The medicine made you.
It's like you almost want to say I want my mother, and it's to do with the medicine.
He's trying to give the detective evidence that he panicked when he found Levi dead, because he's a man who has a history of panicking. However, someone having a panic attack would not be able to go 4.5 hours of acting normally like Carl apparently did after he found Levi dead.
Not his fault.
Panic attacks are also short-lived, usually lasting from a few minutes, but possibly up to an hour.
I mean, there's a lot to do. I mean, and I don't mean to keep coming back and bragging it up.
Bragging what?
I went through 4 or 6 years of being stoned. I mean, you guys, check the medical records, whatever, you probably will, but
Probably already did.
well, probably, I mean, it was tough, and it's like, it's tough. It's
very tough, dude.
Likely mentioning this repeatedly as a last resort defense if he has no way to say he didn't do it.
It's very tough, bro, to, be high. It's tougher than killing your kid and your wife. Tougher than that.
Have to do that.
Very tough.
It's not.
I don't know what I would, if I had one of my kids and I knew that their life was going to be miserable because of the choices they were making, I might make that same call.
The lieutenant is trying to
Oh, come on. Bro, it's pretty obviously reaching. Yo, lieutenant, it's obviously reaching, bro. Come on.
It's pretty rare to see a father kill his own child for insurance.
Come on, dog.
A spouse, maybe, but a child
Come on,
is
dog.
rather rare. Most children don't even have life insurance until they themselves have a spouse or children. They would rather have the beneficiary be their own family, not their parent.
But to sit here and say that I killed him, no.
Well, like I said, I don't want to use that word because...
No, but it is. It's what it's all about.
I think that...
Or took his life, whatever you want to say, but
yeah, took his life, or took advantage.
Took advantage.
Something you got gained.
That's what he said. That's what he said, right? The guys that took advantage of the situation. Because he's raising him up, Mitzi. He raised him up. You gotta raise him up. You gotta butter them up before you fuck them. Right? And the cops like to fuck you hard, so they gotta really butter you up, right? So he's gonna touch his leg, he's gonna stroke his leg, touch the shoulder, stroke the shoulder, and then he's gonna grab it and he's gonna go ooh, 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 ooh.
When it's necessary.
The lieutenant is describing what is, in actuality, his psychopathic personality as a positive thing. To help
That's what he's gonna do. Look, see, he's raising him up. I'm saying, you're not like that, bro.
Right, and I think
I think some of it may be, I know you didn't grow up with the best of situations.
I mean, we as hard as we worked, we played just as hard. We had snowmobiles, we raced them, we went to Disney World many, many times. We went to Daytona races.
Yeah, it's
but as kids, we worked a lot. I mean, yes, if I had a tough life, yes. If I had a good life, yes. I've got good kids. I've got grandkids.
Oh, you lost one of your kids and your wife.
This situation with Levi, like I say, it's
Unfortunate.
Well, I would really.
It's unfortunate, bro.
In that garage, 'cause
And the situation with the house burning and the wife burning to death,
I would really.
you know, it's tough. And the situation with the horses burning is tough too.
And I know, Carl. I'll tell you.
You know?
A little quid pro quo here.
It's tough.
yeah, a little bit. I mean,
I scratch your back, you scratch my back.
I had one of my kids once was really sick, and you know, if I could have helped that suffering.
Leave.
The detective is trying to normalize what Carl did by saying that he himself would have taken his own child's life.
Bro, it happens. Words out.
He's trying to make it easier for Carl to
It happens, dude. You know, it's unfortunate.
if something like that, but
Yeah.
the thing is Levi was turning around.
Carl's response is odd, to say the least. Whether Levi's life was
So he's saying, yeah, he would have done that, but he was turning around.
Kill him.
Well, narrator, see, now you're judging, bro. See, now you're judging.
How are you doing?
We haven't met before, I don't think, we actually did a long time ago, I don't think you remember me.
Jeff Arnold, who's that?
Jeff Arnold. I worked out in Ontario County. I'm investigator in Ontario County.
Not quite sure. Don't mind me. I
think, I met
And
you,
he feels better if he stands up.
I move a lot.
I met you, it was within days of your son's death. I was investigating a matter, involving your granddaughter. Did you ever hear anything about that? Okay.
Your
Let me
granddaughter?
tell you what I'm here for, and then I'll let these guys talk.
What happened to the granddaughter?
Just drove down from Ontario County. Can you sit for a couple minutes so I can just talk? It's tough to talk.
You need me to step out, or?
Why don't you, if you don't mind?
The detective asks the lieutenant to step out. They do this to change up the dynamic, once again, keeping Carl uncomfortable. Remember, interrogators want to be able to control the stress levels of the suspect, and this is another strategy to manage that. It's about using
What happened with the
whatever means
granddaughter,
they
bro?
will work on that suspect to extract as
What
much
happened with the
information in
granddaughter,
the
bro?
shortest amount of time.
This is an old case going back to November 18th, 2000 and...
What happened with the granddaughter, bro?
You remember anything about that day a couple days before Levi's death? Do you remember what was going on in the life of your grandkids back then?
Levi would bring them out at times, and I know they were in a nasty divorce, and you know it was over at that time, I believe. But they were still fighting.
Did anybody ever discuss my investigation with you back a long time ago?
Oh, is it gonna be some child?
We never talked to you or
Child shit?
because of the death of your son momentarily.
Oh, it's gonna be child touching, shit like that?
Granddaughter was years old at the time. I don't know what type of relationship you had with her, but she'd been...
Molested, yeah.
And there was always a belief on Cassie's part that you knew about it.
Oh no.
And it was pretty clear indication that your son was involved in it. And
No.
she always believed that you knew about it.
No.
Carl doesn't appear
Oh,
to be surprised
Jesus
by
Christ.
the information that Levi was allegedly involved in assaulting his own
Nah,
daughter,
no shot, bro.
which
Nah, no
never
shot.
ever
Nah, no
hearing
shot.
about it before. He had been
No
speaking
shot,
so
bro.
highly of Levi during the entire interrogation, so it's strange
Nah,
that
come
he
on,
doesn't
bro.
appear shocked by this accusation, or even try to
Yo, this
defend
fucking
Levi's
story has more
story, saying
twists
that it can't be true.
than a
It's
fucking
possible that he's
telenovela, bro.
surprised because something like this isn't out of character for Levi, which is a direct contradiction
Are
to
you
what he's been
kidding
telling
me?
the other two detectives. It's also possible that perhaps he already knew about this allegation, but for some reason thinks he shouldn't admit to knowing. Or it could even be that he's such
So
a callous
Levi-
person, he doesn't really care.
If I knew about it and it was him,
Oh, he would have killed him.
he never mentioned any. I mean, we never knew anything.
Well, she believes it. She's always believed
That you killed him because of it.
and that he talked to you about it after, because we were coming after him.
We never knew a thing. Never knew a thing. He never talked to me about it.
Well,
Because we
even
were...
if you
Oh, wow, dude. See, now the thing is making a little bit more sense. Right? Now the thing is making a little bit more sense. The life insurance policy, the trusting the dad that he didn't trust before. Maybe the guy did talk to his dad and say, hey dad, like, look, I did this, I did that, I did the other. And they're coming after me and they're going to send me to jail and I'm going to get raped and I'm going to get this and I'm going to get that. What if I commit suicide? Right? And the dad said, wait, hold on. How about we take a life insurance policy on you? Right? You sign, I sign. It's not going to go to your wife. And I will give it to your kids. You know? Maybe it was assisted suicide? Is that what he's going to go with? Maybe this guy's going to say, yeah, my son did talk to me about it. And he said he wanted to help. He wanted help in suicide. And I helped him. Oh, bro, is this where it's going? Let's see if I'm a god at predicting.
Not a crime, but you know, we don't close out these investigations, and you know whether it was him or somebody else, or we obviously don't know. So,
I mean,
I've been. Pardon me.
Was it founded that they take her to the...
No, I can't get into all the details of that. And as you,
I mean, was it an accusation or was it...
Oh no, it was more than an accusation.
Okay.
I surely wouldn't be here for it.
Right, I didn't know, but no, we never...
It's important to note that it isn't clear if there was actual evidence of Levi assaulting his daughter, or if this is just an interrogation tactic.
Bro.
And the kids actually pretty much every...
Come on, dog. He doesn't look like that.
Every 2 weeks, he would bring them by, or we would get them for the day, or they would spend the night.
Nah, he doesn't look like that, bro.
You know, we would have them a lot. And nobody ever made us the wiser of...
What was your son... Did you ever show any indication of anything like that when he was growing up? Did you ever...
No.
Oh.
Animals or anything?
Is the kid gonna have a couple of charges against him?
He's trying to posit a motive that Carl killed Levi because Levi allegedly assaulted his own daughter.
He was never abused as a child. He was never...
Well, you guys had some issues, though.
Oh, well...
I mean, let me...
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, issues aren't the same as abuse, dog. Come on.
I got involved in this case. I don't know if you realize this, but this investigation of theirs has been going on for several months.
No, I didn't know.
Well, again, I'm telling you that I'm telling the truth on that.
Okay.
That this isn't something that came overnight. So when I was alerted to it, I've interjected a little bit here and there. Got to understand this investigation pretty well. Don't know all the details of it, but I do know that you and Levi had quite a few confrontations.
Well, and his mother.
Yes.
So it was the three of us.
Correct.
The new detective may be trying to get Carl to admit to problems in his relationship with Levi. Because if Carl admits to something small like that, it can make it easier for him to admit to something bigger. It's likely the detective is also trying to prove that Carl has not been truthful to the other detectives about Levi's issues.
But the ones that I'm talking about is, I found a
Come on, dog.
sheriff's department reports where you and Levi had almost physical confrontations where the sheriffs were called. You recall those?
Yeah, because he beat him up.
He told him one time that I beat him up so bad that he was spitting blood.
First one.
But I kicked him one time in the head, you know? Only one time.
You reported that you threatened to kill him. Do you remember that? That's what's on the sheriff's report?
Jesus fucking Christ.
Remember why? What was the
Causing bruises,
He was probably like 13.
punching Levi on the right arm and the stomach.
Was he an outrageous punk in your family?
No. He was one that he would lie, steal. He stole $300-400 from his sister and wouldn't admit it while the school's saying, why is Levi got all these dollar bills and he's handing them out to everybody.
Right.
My daughter worked as a waitress.
Oh, come on, bro. No. Stop. I know what $1 bills mean, bro. I know what they mean, alright? Your daughter wasn't a waitress, she was a stripper. Get it right. Okay? I know what that shit means.
So he wouldn't say nothing, so I set him in a chair in the living room and I said, we're going going to sit here till you tell me what you did with the money. I said, I know you got it. I know you spent it. And you've been giving it to kids at school. Finally, he come clean, and I didn't punish him. I said, you're going to have to tell your sister you took her money. That killed him. There was another one where he...
Well, no, that didn't kill him. The truck you pushed in front of him, on top of him, killed him. That killed him. Get it right, bro.
She called your wife a what?
A whore.
I believe I called my wife effing blah, blah, blah. And
Fucking dumb whore.
16, 17.
Mm.
He put your wife through 11
He put all of us. And so...
Now, other than that, you say he put his wife... It sounds like he was not a good kid growing up.
The detective is trying to demonize Levi to get Carl to admit his
Yeah.
true feelings about Levi.
He wasn't bad. He stayed... No.
It wasn't bad.
No, that would have been my last day of life. That was his only one time that he ever said that to her.
But how did you handle it?
Well, I called him up and I said, what did you just say to your mother?
Was he not living at home?
No, at this time. And I said, what the hell did you... He said, well, she won't give me my money and she's bitching and this and that. And I said, you will never, ever talk to her like that.
Yeah, you fucking dumb cunt.
He had quit school, and a couple of his buddies quit school, so he wasn't...
Bunch of losers, bro. Imagine quitting school and becoming a fucking streamer. What an imbecile.
I've done an extensive amount of work on him.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't that nice of a guy.
Oh.
He may have had some qualities that were okay.
But the thing is, though, as far as what he ever
the
told
dark side of him, there was a dark side of him. If your father was like my father, he'd have kicked your ass to the moon.
He wouldn't have wasted a bullet on him because he would have beat you to death.
Right. That's my point that I'm saying.
Yeah, and
the realization
but at
is
the
that
point, we had already been through the child protective enough to where...
I'm not even going to tell you, I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that I had a love affair with your son Levi. I'm not telling you that Levi was a kid.
No.
So I'm not going to be like...
Yo, detective. Why did you just say that?
I laid a hand on him, which our dads would have beat us to death. CPS is going to have me by the balls because...
In today's world, probably right.
But even back when he was doing it, because he turned us in, and it's like, so now I can't, and I asked
He turned into CPS, did he?
Oh, many times. And every time he...
Tell me that didn't make your life live in hell.
But every time he turned us in, it was proven not guilty. Every time.
Mm.
You know, every time.
Yeah, still a report on your record, though.
Yeah.
It's there forever.
And I says, you know, it's not fair that we get accused of something. It stays on our record, and he gets to walk home clean because he lied.
Based.
Well, that's the system.
Not fair.
There was one time that he grabbed me, I grabbed him. We never punched. We just had a hold of each other.
How old was he then?
17 and a half. And I said, I says, you're done.
You're done, bitch.
Out of the house. Don't come back till you're ready.
Yeah, don't come back until you want to get crushed by my truck,
Towards
bitch.
children. A statement from Cindy dated April of 2012 references two occasions when Child Protective Services became involved in altercations between Levi and Carl. According to Cindy, Carl would hit Levi. Also within a statement, Levi's older sister Erin explains that Levi was Carl's preference when it came to beating the children.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Stated, I had it bad, but Levi got it worse. Erin's words would prove to be quite the understatement in the end.
He finally started changing his ways and was doing better, and I said...
So you're just lying.
Put an application in, and I'll talk to him. And I did. And I put my reputation on the line. Which, at that time, I was almost like God down there, you know.
Okay.
Displays his
He was godly. Listen, I'm a godly streamer, buddy. That's what I am.
But he also appears to think
what I
he's better
am.
or superior to others. He even states
I
in his
am.
work he was almost like God.
When I show up in the Royals, I am godly.
Disputable.
And he was doing fantastic.
Oh, he was doing fantastic. He was fantastic.
Tom was telling me about a fire.
Yeah, I mean, fires happen.
That concerned him back in...
Fires happen, bro. Fires happen.
Maybe 91, I think.
Fires happen, bro.
So, that fire caused the death of your wife, correct?
Right.
And
Yeah, but the statute of limitations, bro.
because you spilled kerosene in front of the bathroom.
Well, the dog and the wife did.
The dog did, yes.
She carried kerosene in for the kerosene heaters we had.
Yeah, she spilled it.
Tipped the kerosene over.
Yes, the dog. Yes.
It's then the fire never happened for like 2 weeks, maybe.
So, but 2 or 3 weeks prior to kerosene spill.
I'm passing the time consumption for push. Better fix the kerosene heater.
They never really.
What?
The only thing they aimed is because she had a load of clothes in the dryer.
And that was a gas dryer, you said?
Yes.
You sure it's gas?
Oh, I don't fucking know.
I was also working up in the attic that day.
In the house?
Yeah. Because there's a...
Could have something dropped, like a light?
Well, I had a trouble light they found on the floor.
Oh, so you think maybe that trouble light fell down?
And that's what they checked. Right where the fire was is where the light was.
Evidently, he laid the light out here.
Oh, it wasn't a fire. There's no criminal trial.
Carl throws in the statement that
Yeah, all it was a fire. What's up, King Black?
responsive to a question and
Bro, all it was it's a simple fire, bro.
consciousness of guilt.
Simple fire. You know? She died in the simple fire, bro.
The detective has Carl draw a map of the home and how he went into the house to pull his kids out. This is done to get his testimony clearly on record. This is a step in the Reed technique to reduce things to writing or maps to make...
Yeah, and this is what they're gonna say. Why didn't you take her out if she was right in front of you, bro?
The detective may also be having Carl draw out a map of his house and talk about the fire in order to try to catch inconsistencies.
Oh, they're gonna get him on this one. They're gonna get him on this one.
So you come up on his porch?
Come up, yeah, through the porch, yeah.
I was going to go in there, but I couldn't even see through the glass. There's a glass door.
So you didn't open the door
I
here?
didn't open the door. His window was right there, so I just punched the screen, and then...
BAM!
And then you get hit with a flash.
Carl appears to be very comfortable telling the story about the fire, and he doesn't appear to be rattled by any of the questions about what happened that day. He's probably told this story many times. He may even enjoy telling it because he likely believes that it proves that he is such a brave man, risking his life to save his children.
But not your wife?
Do an interview with you? Because typically they never did an interview with you with lawyers and stuff, because typically on a payout of insurance they do...
Carl, would you say your full name? Carlson. Yeah, so they did do an interview.
I'm burnt, I'm tired, I'm hurt, I'm wearing clothes from everybody that has donated them. And somebody took the kids...
Bro, he's not even talking...
3 days.
Really?
Yeah, because I was a wreck.
Dude, he's not even talking about his dead wife, dog. He's like, yeah, dude, all my clothes, you know, they ended up being crispy. My man, what about your wife, you piece of shit? Oh, the crispy critter. Come on, man.
Once again, Carl is making the tragedy all about...
Yeah, he forgot about the wife, bro.
His children or his wife. He doesn't even mention how he lost his wife or the kids.
And how the kids lost their fucking mom. Bro, he's like, yeah.
Where did you sit? Did you sit around the house, or?
I laid on the couch folded into a bed, and I slept on it for 2 days.
And you stayed right there until the minute you came back to New York, or did you finally get up and do anything?
No, I stayed right there.
You didn't even get to...
I mean, we had funeral and all that stuff and everything else, but I just...
Bro, he was jerking off, happy that he burnt his fucking wife to a crisp.
myself, but I was a freaking train wreck.
Oh, come on.
As such a caring family man. His
Come on,
actions speak
bro.
otherwise. A man who tragically just lost his wife and risked his own life to save his young children likely wouldn't choose to nurse his wounds alone and not see his kids for days right after the accident.
You lying piece of shit.
Thomas Anderson.
Yo, the kid's kind of jacked, though.
The accident.
Yo, the kid kind of built, though. Look at this, bro. Look at Levi. Levi had good forearms. Bro, fucking kid has better forearms than me. What the fuck? Look at him standing there like a chad. Kid's got good genetics, bro.
Thomas Anderson.
See the fucking forearms on the motherfucker.
Is that there some other fires, like a car fire you had, and
A car fire?
cow fire or something? They were...
Oh, everything just burnt.
They proved that was,
They proved.
What was the barn fire?
it ended up being, the barn had cloth wiring in it.
Carl retells his story of what caused the
Cloth
fire
wiring.
that killed his horses to the detective. He again blames faulty cloth wiring.
According to Tom, there was a large insurance policy on that also.
Well, I mean...
That was $60,000. That was with...
Oh, I thought he said it was like $100,000, because you had like the animals insured for like $30,000.
No, I had one animal insured for 20. She was the largest mare in the world, 3,200 pounds. Never won life yard.
So that must have been more expensive.
What Carl
Way
doesn't
more.
realize is that the interrogators are well aware that Carl's prized horse was infertile.
Oh.
Because the horse couldn't have offspring for Carl to make a profit on, he found another way to make money through insurance
Oh,
fraud.
she was infertile. Yeah, his name is fucking Carl Carlson.
It was 3 months, 4 months.
His name should be Fire Starter.
When I come back this week,
To be honest.
yeah, I'm getting.
He's sleeping.
You get up at what time? You remember?
It was probably 11 o'clock.
He gets up. He goes.
Establishes a timeline for the fire involving the horse barn. He's reducing this to writing so he can make sure it's solidified in case it doesn't match the evidence or his prior statements.
I said, call 911 or call the fire department.
Call 911 now.
Because I had 5 other brothers.
One item to note regarding the barn fire and a statement from Carl's own brother Curtis, who was a career firefighter and also responded to the fire. Curtis requested that the fire chief do an investigation due to his own suspicions about the fire. The chief declined, but Curtis knew something about that fire just wasn't right. Carl's MO is becoming very clear. He takes out an insurance policy, waits a matter of weeks, an accident occurs. Then, as the primary beneficiary, he gets a large payout.
Bro, he's just lucky.
The only thing he cares about.
He got lucky.
He
got lucky.
Lives of animals, wives, or kids for
That's
money.
a big ass fucking horse.
Proceeds to question Carl on another fire.
Just cover a couple of the fires that Tommy mentioned.
Couple of other fires.
Back in 1996.
Are you kidding me, dog? Bro, everything of his just burns.
That suspiciously caught on fire in his driveway.
I bought a brand new Charger 2.2.
Payments on?
Yeah.
Bro, this guy literally just went around burning everything.
And,
Dude, his fucking car, his horse, his wife.
Fan were smelling gas.
How'd it burn? Driving up the road?
No, it was in my
Dude, it's
driveway.
ridiculous. I've never been involved in a fucking fire in 28 years, bro. I'm pushing fucking 30. I've never been involved in a single fucking fire. This motherfucker, by 30, already killed one person to fire and already killed the fucking horse to fire. Already burnt the fucking, like, what the fuck?
All the contents from it just before the fire? No.
No.
The detective is gently confronting Carl using evidence from the fire department.
Jesus Christ, I'm pushing 30. I've got to go for harder everything in life, boys. Boys, we're going everything harder in life. Ah, react harder, pussy, react harder.
How would it be in?
You know why a fireman would have wrote that up on a report?
No.
I haven't read the report.
I don't know.
No, I haven't read the report either, bro.
I never talked to anybody really.
As Cindy had grown more and more suspicious of Carl,
He burnt her.
reach out to her family to see if they recalled anything about him that might have triggered.
Oh, he liked to burn things when he was younger.
A story that Carl told him about how his parents had owned peacocks.
Oh, and he
that would
burnt
pull
them.
flowers and leave messes on the porch. The peacocks suddenly started going missing.
Oh.
Carl told everyone that he had seen a fox, and it was likely killing the peacocks.
Oh, he was killing
However,
a
Carl's
fucking...
father accused a relative of shooting them and threatened to call the sheriff's office if he could prove it. The relative was distraught at the accusation, but Carl allowed them to take the blame, even though he'd been killing the peacocks one by one, for no reason except to perhaps get back at his father.
Yeah,
In another
okay.
disturbing instance, Carl killed geese on the property.
Yeah, this
and
guy's
father
a
once
serial
again
killer in the
blamed
making.
relative for shooting them. In fact, Carl admitted to Cindy's brother that while killing the geese, he hit one of the animals on the side of the head, and it flopped around for a bit. So Carl picked up and swung it around and wrung its neck.
Oh, he did this
Cindy
one.
was horrified to find out that she had lived with Carl for 18 years and not realized he could be so cruel.
Yeah, he was a
That
fucking
brings up an
psychopath.
intriguing new fact.
He was a psychopath.
I used to be back in high school a volunteer fireman for the
Oh.
fire department.
How long were you fireman for?
Oh, he was a fucking fire.
It's quite surprising that Carl used to be a fireman, given the fact that he experienced 3 accidental
Bro,
fires: his
stop.
car, his barn, and his house.
Bro,
As
stop.
a volunteer fireman, he would have gained important knowledge
Dude,
about how to safely
stop.
put fires out, how to rescue people from
Dude,
fires, and
but more importantly, how to start them.
fires can be
Yeah,
traced
yeah,
after
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
fact.
Yeah.
It's strange that he never mentioned his fire training during the
Jesus
interrogation when he was telling
Christ, dude.
detectives about the fire in which his
Yeah, aren't the most arsonist firefighters? Yeah, yeah.
fires when he's giving details about his house fire. He likely doesn't want to draw attention to the fact that he had fire training, as that could make things look more suspicious.
Yeah, they're also the hardest to
It is
catch.
fairly common for arsonists to be well
Yeah.
aware about fire safety. In fact, there is an estimated 100 arrests of firefighters who are charged with arson every year in the
Yeah.
United States. The detective brings up yet more fires to discuss.
Yeah, and it also makes sense because like they can burn things and get paid to put them out.
We had a fire out on one
You
of
know?
my trains there that the mechanic left a rag on top of the exhaust manifold.
Started that fire?
No, it just singed it.
Any other fires?
Any other fires, bro?
Your son.
Any other fires, bro?
Levi years
Levi
ago.
had a house fire.
How did that happen?
Levi had a house fire. Oh my god, bro. He tried to burn his son. He tried to fucking burn his son.
They never should have owned the house.
Bro.
Right next to the road. 10 feet from the road.
Bro.
From the road.
If my kid owned that house, we'd be having some words.
Bro.
He comes over, he's like,
It's a July. Do you ever see that movie, The Money Pit?
yes.
Remember that house that was impossible to fix up, and you could, even if they gave it to you for free, you were gonna go bankrupt fixing it up.
Well, it's like.
Well, Levi and his wife Cassie bought was the money pit, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
but what I do is I blame the people who sold. I said, who in their right mind?
Bro.
But it was the money pit, was it not?
It was.
It should have been condemned.
The detective is establishing a motive for
Bro.
Carl to burn it down, as it was a money pit.
Yeah, this guy just burned everything. Hey, what else did you burn, bro?
Serial arsonist years ago. As
What else did you burn?
Incidents of accidental fires.
You remember where you were the night of that fire?
Oh, well, I was close to his house.
I didn't know about the fire for 2 or 3 days.
His claim that he didn't know about the fire for days
Didn't
is
know?
extremely hard to believe.
Didn't know.
As Levi seemed very reliant on Carl.
I didn't know, bro.
A fire such as that would be heard about in a small rural town like Clifton Springs, New York.
You know,
Yeah, I didn't know.
Classified as an arson fire?
Never knew anything about it.
Never knew it, bro.
Report, never nobody talked to us, nobody nothing.
It wasn't me, bro.
It's an arson, and it's hard to say if he did this or if
It wasn't me. Wasn't me.
Father how to get money.
Wasn't me, bro.
A liability.
Do you know where your son and daughter-in-law were then?
They were working.
It wasn't me, bro.
They were both working, and I think the kids were at her mother's, as far as I know.
According to Cassie, Levi's ex-wife, Carl was angry the young couple bought the home after all.
I got a funny feeling we were in North Carolina at the time the fire happened.
Oh, you were in North Carolina?
I think we were in North Carolina. Because that's why I think we didn't hear about it for...
Well, if you're in North Carolina, you feel anything to do with it then, right?
Oh, I
No.
don't have anything to do with it.
Maybe there's a thought that you were so disgusted with him buying his house that...
Why would I do that?
Why would I do that, bro? No.
I didn't say that.
No,
I'm saying
but-
the thoughts there, so...
No, I'm sorry.
I didn't know anything
I'm
about
sorry.
business.
I'm sorry. Weren't we here to talk about how you guys thought that I murdered my son? How did we go from that to now you guys think I killed my wife in a fire? Now you guys think I burnt my car, my home, my horses, my kids' home? Dude, what the fuck? This is the best fucking press we've ever seen from any cops ever. They pressed the guy on one issue and they found out so many fucking things. The best fucking press ever, dude. Ever.
How much money was Levi making?
With overtime and stuff, he was probably bringing home $500-600 a week. Plus you get your bonuses.
600 weeks.
Carl changes his story about his involvement in Levi's fire.
500 to 600 a week.
Claiming he knew nothing about them. The detective begins asking him about
I mean, it's
Levi's
not
death and
terrible.
what he and the other detective and lieutenant spoke about. He already knows and is asking
Back then?
how Carl retells it.
I think they're looking at it either...
Back then it's not terrible. 20K a year?
And
When the average is 30?
it's bullcrap.
The detective
Now?
explicitly ties together all the
Not
insurance
terrible.
payouts Carl got, so he's forced to see the obviousness of his MO.
Levi was a healthy young man?
He got pneumonia when he was like 18. They called me and said, your kid's in the emergency room.
And the emergency room burnt down.
He had lungs collapsed.
Really?
And they took him up to
When he was
Rochester.
18 years old?
Yeah.
Did he he have any other health issues that would prevent him from getting that life insurance policy?
No, not that I know of at all. He told me what he wanted to do. He, told Tony what he wanted, and we did it. And I told him, I'll pay the first premium.
He can't afford to pay for it that day?
No, he didn't have anything on.
He doesn't have any money.
And to start it, you gotta get.
What do you mean he didn't have any
You
money?
gotta pay
He
it.
didn't have any cash on him, not that amount.
Did he have a checkbook with him?
No, he didn't have a checkbook.
Did he have the money in the bank back home?
I don't know.
Probably not, right?
I don't know. But he had money.
So why did you offer to pay for it?
Well, because I was gonna benefit from it.
Carl can't logically explain why Levi couldn't pay for the first insurance payment, which was only $300. It's likely Carl agreed to pay for Levi's insurance if he was the beneficiary, knowing he would only be making one payment.
What a piece of
You have
shit.
to have a physical before it's legal.
Well, you knew that his policy was his policy was good up until the day he got his policy.
I never knew that.
Up until the what?
So I thought I was told that.
I also told Carl if he gives me a check to cover the semi-annual premium, I would give him a conditional and the policy would go into effect right away. Oh, so if you pay $470, you can skip the fucking physical. They literally just give you the policy right away? That doesn't seem legal. That doesn't seem legal. Right?
Discussed that day. And like with my
Chrissy guy.
Right, and then with my insurance that I have on me, it was the same way. I mean,
How much life insurance did you have on you?
I have 300 on me.
Okay.
But the wife doesn't have any on her, anything like that.
Does your wife ever have any on her?
No.
So
The way she always
Cindy never had any life insurance policy on her?
No. The way she always
And did you have one on, did you have one on her?
No. No.
So there's never insurance policy on Cindy?
No. The only thing I had on me was
Not a universal life, a whole life, or a term life? No.
Oh no, he knows something. Oh, he knows something.
So if she
Oh,
would've
he knows
died,
something.
You would have collected nothing.
Right.
Most interesting of all in this section,
No, he knows
Carl
something.
states there is no policy on
He
Cindy.
knows something.
In
There is.
actuality, however,
There is a
Carl
policy.
holds a $1.2 million policy on her. Based on Carl's track record, the thought of another policy on a loved one is alarming. However, not as
Yo, she's
alarming
gonna get.
as what you'll soon
She's
learn.
gonna get burnt to a crisp soon.
Carl has to say.
Yo, she's about to go into Krispy Kreme soon, bro.
How about your granddaughters? Was there a policy on your granddaughters?
Oh yeah.
Life insurance policy?
Oh yeah, for sure there is.
I
sure.
think we did, but that was the way Tony. I'm trying to think here. My mind's going to think.
Oh no.
Paid like $6,000 or $7,000 to get their life insurance started.
Oh my god.
That ended after so many years. You wouldn't have to pay into it.
Right.
You know
That's what would be called a universal life or a whole life policy.
Carl now reveals the chilling fact that he has life insurance
Bro,
policies
on everyone, on
members.
everyone.
These are very young children, and it's extremely rare to have them insured. They were likely targets.
Okay, but listen, here's the thing, right? Now, if I'm not a killer, okay, and my fucking house burns down, and my car burns down, and my fucking horses burn down, and the this burns down, yo, bro, I might as well benefit from it. You know, if my granddaughters are gonna burn to a crisp, hey, I might as well get some cash, you know? The life has it against me, bro. No, you know what I would honestly think, dude? I think, holy shit, bro, these fucking policies are cursed. I am not taking a fucking policy on my loved ones. Because they are gonna get fucking burnt to a crisp. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, bro? Bro, listen, a normal fucking human being, right? If everybody starts burning around you when you take a fucking life policy against them, dude, you think you'd be cursed. You're like, nah, I'm not taking a policy on anyone ever again. Anything I insure gets burnt to a crisp? Hell no, bro. There's some fucking serial killer hunting me. There's a serial killer hunting me 100%, bro. I must have said something horrible to a kid 20 fucking years ago and that motherfucker's hunting me. That's what I would think. Yeah, I wouldn't take a fucking policy on anyone, bro. But this motherfucker? Oh, this motherfucker? No, he knows how to fucking live life.
Well, and may have been killed next had Carl needed money again.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Carl clearly has an inflated ego and may have thought he was too smart to get caught. In his mind, he'd already gotten away with multiple fires and insurance payouts with no legal repercussions. So he may have had a plan to continue down this road. One trait of a psychopath is living a parasitic lifestyle.
Oh yeah, he's a parasite 1,000%.
An indulged adult child mooching off their parents. Carl relying on insurance money to fund his life could be seen as parasitic as well.
Can you give me an accounting of how much money did you get? Like
700,000.
Oh, bro, he got
15, 7, 10.
he got a couple million, bro.
This is what he wanted to do, so
he wanted you to get a lot of it.
Yes, and which was like
what?
And he knew I would do anything for these kids.
Right.
Oh yeah, like guys, remember when he got the money. Remember what he did for his kids, right? For the kids and the ex-wife of his son. He took them a Thanksgiving turkey, bro, one time. I mean, come on, bro. That's $700,000 right there, you know. And he offered to pay them for something else one time, 2 months before he got fucking called like this. But it was 4 years ago, bro. The child's murder was 4 years ago. He got paid 4 years ago. And he offered one time to give them some fucking money. One fucking time. And he gave them one turkey, bro. What the fuck? Yo, this is world's greatest grandpa, bro. World's greatest grandpa.
You were good. You weren't looking at selling the house, the farm, to get out of anything.
Oh, he was looking into selling it too. Oh, bro, they know everything.
You had a nice retirement account set up at that time.
Yep, farm.
At the time of Levi's death, how much money do you and your wife have in your retirement accounts?
80 something. Well, it was over 100. And
He's
then
lying.
The market took the
In 2008,
he's lying.
right about the same time.
We took a beating. I mean, I went down to like 30,000.
So
Right when Levi died.
Right?
It took a beating.
Right
You
before.
went from over 100,000 down to 30,000 in your retirement account.
In my retirement, yes.
Any money in the bank at the time?
Yeah, we had normal living expense money, you know.
Okay.
Living
Money
expense.
that we always have a
So
big.
you didn't take a lavish lifestyle from the death of your son. It
No.
was really all just put into retirement.
Oh, bro.
Yeah, I mean, we
So
didn't.
your 400,000 was put into retirement.
My farm was paid for. My trucks were paid for.
Right, but I'm saying the 400,000 that you and Cindy took.
Right, we didn't.
You put that into retirement investments. You didn't go out and live a lavish lifestyle with it.
Oh, they're gonna come out with he flew to Paris. All these places, right?
Where you can now at least maybe someday retire.
Well, that's the thing, because we knew my health wasn't the best because of all the back surgeries, and you know, we knew that sooner or later I wasn't going to be able to work.
Carl may have unintentionally given evidence for
Oh,
a financial
come
motive,
on.
stating that physically
Yeah.
he'd only be able to work so much longer and that he barely had any money saved for retirement. He's extremely talkative, and by this point, he's established a good rapport with the detective. So it's not surprising that he may slip up and say something incriminating. He's established a motive to kill Levi for the money without even realizing it.
Yeah.
I want you to go over the true events, and I want you to be totally honest with me. I think there's been some deception that's kind of got you a little bit jammed up over the last, since Tom has been talking to you, and Tom and Lieutenant Clear. Now that your head's clear and you've got past some of the...
Yeah, now that I remember.
The detective now gets to the real crux of the matter and confronts Carl about lying previously. He refers to Carl's lies as inaccuracies to minimize his intentional lying. He wants the honest story.
Did you kill your son?
Tell me again the true events, how it came about that Levi was coming over to your house that day, and what happened when he got there.
He made plans, like he always does. He asked me if he could come over to work on his truck.
You grew up on a farm, right?
Yeah.
You worked on machinery your whole life?
Everything.
Me too. I worked on cars, tractors.
That shit don't break, bro.
Continuing to build trust with Carl by bringing up a commonality.
Yeah, it's gonna
growing
say
up
that
on a
fucking
farm.
big thing
He wants
don't
to
break,
make Carl
bro.
feel like they're similar people and that he can talk to him.
My farm was my grandfather's. I think some of what you're going to be telling me is we always jacked everything. We had a big old railroad jack.
Yeah.
Because my grandfather...
He has that too.
That's what we had.
And every farm had a railroad
Big
jack.
belt, freaking road jack.
Those don't break, bro.
They can lift the house up.
Bro, are you kidding me? You think this thing is gonna fucking break? Bro, look at this shit. Look how thick it is. Right, look at the thickness, bro. This is a railroad jack. This shit... Dude, this shit is not gonna break.
They were stable as
Oh, they were stable as shit.
I think like most farmers, once we jacked it up, we blocked it with big wood blocks.
when you can find them. But
or even concrete
well, yeah, and it was.
Or we put a tire on the wheel. We would always say.
He's also telling him about his knowledge, so Carl will be less inclined to lie about the Jackson equipment, knowing he has a knowledge base in this area.
Yeah, all the time
Carl
with
is talking
thickness,
about the
like
Jack
fucking.
that supposedly is responsible
thick.
for killing his son. Not many parents would be able to stomach discussing a tool supposedly responsible for killing their own child so loosely.
It was a rail jack, one of those, they jack it up that high, but
the base was only
that wide,
6 to 8 inches.
that long,
Right.
and that little tooth that picks them up.
Right, and they have about a 2-inch in diameter stem that comes
Yep,
up.
square stem,
Correct.
and it's that click.
Yep.
Click, and letting them down was the scariest thing in the world.
Sure was. You never want to let one
Get
down.
your finger in there, and you're clicking it one step at a time.
And it just drops, boom.
And a lot of times you click it the wrong spot, and you push that lever, and it's gone.
I pushed that lever 1,000 times in my life.
Carl takes the detective through events leading up to finding Levi.
Oh,
we
bro.
pick up where Carl says he revisited Levi's body after being at a funeral with Cindy for over 4 hours.
And what did you do? I mean, you already know he's not going to be alive.
I knew, but it was like...
You think he was going to come back to life?
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
And then
come on, dog.
Like, I jacked it up.
And did your husband get the truck off of him?
He was jacking it up when I was just out there.
Pulled him out, and when I seen his face, it was like the switch turned on to reality.
He's pinned underneath the truck?
Yeah, my husband's lifting up the truck. Honestly, I don't think he's alive.
And his body had been lifeless for like 4.5 hours.
5 hours, whatever time.
And what did you do to him when you took him out? Did you hug him?
Oh, yeah, I laid right with him and cried like a baby.
Why didn't you do it before?
How long did you lay there crying?
The funeral.
As soon as I pulled him out, and it really, when I seen his face, it clicked.
That he's dead.
I ran to the house, and I don't run.
So you left him there for 4.5 hours, you piece of shit.
But you actually found him dead 4.5 hours.
Yeah, well, I was shocked.
Bro.
When I seen his face.
Carl, they want to start CPR. Do you know CPR?
He was actually dead.
Yeah, it's like, this can't be happening.
Yeah, you can't possibly have left your fucking kid's body there for 4 hours, bro. My mother, bro, if I was dead and crushed by a fucking tank, she'd lift that tank up. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Like, what the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with you, dude? He left his son 4 hours after he was supposedly dead and he had nothing to do with it. He left him 4 hours, went to a funeral, then came back and then went, oh, my son died. Bro, go fuck yourself. You abandoned your kid. At the very least. At the very least, you abandoned your fucking kid.
And for some reason, I could just set it back there for those hours and just stare at the wall.
The psychopathy that one must have to pull this charade off is extraordinary.
Do you think
Yeah, listen, there was probably a fire at the funeral too, bro.
Do you mind if I just stand up again?
When Carl asked to stand up, he was likely trying to escape from the detective's intense questioning.
Dude.
Just wait 1 second. Let me just get to this. You didn't feel the need at that point in time in your life to call because you knew that Levi's death he was better off, as you said, dead than alive.
No, not at that.
Do you think he was better off alive?
He was really coming around. The kid that I knew.
Oh, come on, but
My
he...
wife will tell you. I mean,
Let's go over. Let's play the audio tape of you and Cindy.
No, I know it.
I think we really should play it because I think we need to clarify some things for us. Otherwise, we're all going to have a really a misunderstanding of what happened.
I mean, look, can I say?
You have a chance. Take my hand 1 second. You dug this hole, Carl. I'm here. I can feel your hand shaking.
My hand always shakes.
No, I want you right now. Look, I'm here pulling out. You got a little hold.
My hand always shakes. Yo, chat, grab my hand.
His chair into Carl's personal space.
Yeah, he's pressing him hard, bro. He's sunning him. He's hold my hand. Hold my hand. Ah, you shaking like a bitch.
This is a tactical move, and he's also likely getting frustrated with the lies Carl keeps perpetuating.
There is a reason
why is it shaking?
Oh, I agree.
That's not my hand, officer. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh.
Your son is why we're both sitting here right now. That insurance policy is why we're here. That fire is why we're here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What are you sorry about?
I'm sorry that everybody's here for this
When I did nothing.
I stand with Levi.
I want to have the investigators bring in our audio recording.
Would you mind if I stand?
Please stand up.
Stand up, hands behind your back. Hands behind your back, come on. Hands behind his back, come on bro, press him. Press him. Make him a bitch. Make him your bitch right now.
Can I go to the bathroom too?
Look, he's hiding behind the chair. He's trying to hide behind the chair, the little man.
Which is an indication that he's feeling very stressed.
Of course he's feeling very stressed, bro.
After he asks for
Yo, okay, listen. Even if he wasn't the fucking killer, okay? Even if he wasn't the fucking killer, bro, I'd feel stressed if somebody was like, hey, remember those fucking candy you stole when you were 17? Yeah, somebody died because of them. And I'd be like, but I didn't steal any fucking candy. I haven't stole anything.
The room. Carl is probably panicking. His mind is likely racing.
Yeah. He's gonna tell him, turn around against the wall, and he's gonna go.
Carl has his hand over his
he's just
face,
gonna assume the position because he's about to get fucked.
Disappear. He's uncomfortable with the proposition that he will have to listen to his confession.
Oh, you crying, little boy?
And try to explain it away. The lieutenant and detective have Carl literally backed into a corner by
oh my god, bro.
Positioned. They're sitting extremely
They're
close.
pressing him.
The lieutenant is speaking in a low tone, gently pleading for him to come clean.
So, you know, Carl, I really think that...
Like a rat in the corner.
Really, John and Carl...
He's the cook.
I mean, you look at everything laid out from the California fire to now. I mean, it's pretty damning evidence.
Oh, I know. I've always known it. So, that's why.
Oh my god, dude.
Look at the little damage control. I mean, you come straight out of
Oh,
maybe the other stuff.
No. I'm not even gonna go there. That just.
I'll move the cam.
It just doesn't hold up. It doesn't make sense.
He's getting super pressed.
Walk away from your son and leave him there, thinking he's pretty much.
He's getting super pressed, bro.
Deceased, and then go away for 4.5 hours, and then come back, and then put on a big show with everybody.
Like I told him.
Take the mask off, buddy.
I'm not.
Mask off, bro.
Like I told this gentleman, when I pulled him out and I seen his face, it was like it was real.
Oh, bro, come on. You're telling yourself that. Fucking the self-delusion is ridiculous, bro. The self-delusion is ridiculous.
You jack it up wrong.
I didn't jack it up wrong. I mean, he knows the kind of jack I'm talking about.
I know the kind of jack, and I know from being on a farm my whole life, none of us would ever jack up and let our son ever get under jack with a single railroad jack on it. The most tippiest things in the world.
Well, he had blocks under the drums because the tires were off.
The tires were off, and the thing was up on a single jack, a pivot point. Just as you described it, Cindy.
Yes, a pivot point.
On how you set it up and jacked it more and jacked it more and jacked it more. You go on with this conversation and you say to her, just hear me out. It was never meant to be. You know what I'm saying? It was never planned from the day one for this to ever go this way. And Cindy says, what do you mean day one? Like, you know what the time the insurance stuff.
The lieutenant places his hand on Carl's shoulder as the detective confronts Carl with his own words.
You're gonna kiss him.
The crime. This
You're gonna kiss him.
Extremely pressure-filled position.
Give him a kiss. He needs a kiss, bro.
Coming out of the garage, it was like then, it was like nothing happened, you know? It was like being a hurricane and being an eye. Remember saying that to her?
What? No.
And what I mean.
And again, she says, okay, tell me how it happened, just what happened. I asked him if he wanted to make some money because he was usually short on money. If he could just pull off these two lines, one from the transmission, one from the brake. And because they had the tires up, talks about being wobbly. And the ability, you remember talking about describing how it was like a wheelbarrow? You jacked it up so it was like a wheelbarrow.
Right.
Backwards. Did your wheelbarrow analogy, the wheelbarrow analogy you told Cindy, is that accurate?
Bro.
Well, yeah, it could, yeah. Oh, yeah. But.
And it just shook. Easy to push over. And she asked you, does it push hard? And you said, no, it was easy. It pushed easy.
Oh.
Right. Do you remember saying that?
God.
That it pushed easy.
Yeah, I guess.
It doesn't radically push easy. And she asked you, did he feel any pain? Remember that?
No.
And you said, no, you don't think so. You think it was instantaneous.
The detective points out how
Oh
illogical
my
his statement is,
God,
and
bro.
Carl is dancing around answering and can't explain it because it doesn't make sense, and
Dude.
he's realizing that now.
Cindy was trying to trap you?
And I says, what else could be her motive? What do you mean what could be her motive? What is her motive? I don't know.
Carl tries to keep flipping things back on Cindy and what her motive was. However, he's still unable to give any reason as to what he was hoping to gain by lying to Cindy, probably because there's no explanation that would make sense.
She was waiting for that one word.
What word?
I killed
I
him.
must have killed him or something. That's all I could think of.
Oh, come on.
Did you not tell them?
Come on.
You admitted to pushing a truck over on your son.
Yeah, to feed the furnace.
Feed the
Come
furnace.
on.
Feed the furnace.
Who would kill their kid?
And then
If you think you're being
Oh
smart,
my
why
God.
in God's name would you go in there and say that?
You're fucking retarded. Because I'm retarded.
Because I guess part of me was hoping.
No, just say.
Okay, you want somebody back?
Just say, because I'm retarded. I am the demon. Stop acting like a fucking schizo, bro. You're done. It's over. You're fucked. You're fucked, bro. You're fucked. You're fucked. The only thing you can do is act like a fucking schizo.
Which is a sign that he may be starting to give in to the pressure and may confess soon. Seeing this body language, the officer should go in relentlessly.
Bro, he's got no pants anymore.
The house fire where your wife was miraculously dies and the windows boarded up days beforehand. You told the investigators there earlier that it was 8 months ago that you boarded that window up.
But you lied.
Prior to the fire. 8
But
months.
you lied.
You said. When did you board it up?
Like 8 months before? I don't know for word for
You
word.
told me a month and a half.
It's got to be a month or so. Maybe a month and a half.
You tell investigators, my notes are another one. You tell the investigators in the California Police Department back then that it was 2 to 3 days prior to that. So 2 to 3 days, month and a half, 8 months.
Hey, bro. Listen. How long have I been streaming for, bro? 2 weeks? 3 years? Same thing. No, same thing.
4, 5, 6 months prior to taking it out on the dock.
3, 4 months or something.
Oh, okay.
3, 4 months, bro.
Well, actually, that's not a long time. We know for factual that wasn't the case at all.
No, I said
2
It was a
weeks.
matter of weeks beforehand. A short term before the fire starts and takes your wife's life.
I thought it was like 4 months.
You tell me that the
It
kerosene
felt like 4
was brought
months.
in to the house that day to fuel the kerosene furnace.
Right.
Yet you tell investigators back then in 1991 that it was mistakenly, you thought it was water. You brought in the house as a 5-gallon jug of water to fuel to put in the toilet, to flush the toilet because your pipes were frozen.
Right.
And mistakenly kerosene was brought in and knocked on the floor. But yeah, you.
Oh, that's what I told him.
And then you tell me that a dog knocks over a 5-gallon bucket.
Gosh dang it.
It's almost impossible to knock over a 5-gallon bucket and spill it.
The tension is building.
No,
and
big
the
dog,
detectives
bro,
are
big
hoping that
dog.
Carl will crack soon.
Big dog, big dog.
You were 600 feet away from the house, yet your wife's in a boarded up little room, and you hear her calling your name from 600 feet
it
away.
wasn't calling. It was screaming.
Screaming your name. And yet, you're able to get blown off
Oh
horse,
my God.
open your eyes, your son's uninjured, you're able to grab your uninjured son out where this explosion just took place, without a mark on him, take him out of the house, run around, miraculously save your 2 daughters, and let your wife let your wife perish in this fire.
I didn't let her.
With no attempt to rip that board off that plywood
Where's
board
the
off
wife?
that house and get into that bathroom and help.
Wait, what?
By that time, the fire was all the way around. What was I going to do?
No. That fire was calling your name.
Wait, where would the wife be?
Calling. It was screaming.
Screaming your name. And yet, son's uninjured.
Okay. Wood stove. Oh. Okay. Dude, you know what I'm looking at from here? If he started the fire here, right? And his daughter's room is over here. I think this motherfucker was also planning on killing the girls. But then he must have double thought it, you know? He must have had another thought and said, you know what? I can't leave them alone. I gotta save them. His wife was here, I guess. Right? His son?
You're able to grab your uninjured son out where this explosion just took place without a mark on him, take him out of the house.
Dude, there's no way.
To save your 2 daughters and let your wife let your wife perish in this fire.
I didn't let her.
With no attempt to rip that board off, that plywood board off that house, and get into that.
The victim. Okay, so his wife is right here. So this motherfucker went in here, went through this spot. Or maybe went like this. Maybe he went like this from the back. Grabbed the daughters, but left the wife in here? Damn.
By that time, the fire was all the way around. What am I going to do?
No. That fire was all the way around, and you don't take a chance to look into that window and see your wife. There was no flames in that bathroom window.
Until you're there.
Your sister-in-law tells me that when they fly out to California to be there with you.
And you call her a fucking crispy critter.
And go dance on a redwood tree, and go around. It lets nothing happen.
No.
The detective's tone is drastically different than it was before.
Bro, and then he also says,
more animated,
no, my wife is a crispy critter, bro.
Carl's story.
I had no.
So these were just a lot of coincidences that you take a life insurance policy on your wife. A matter of 3 weeks, 2 weeks.
Bro, he called his fucking wife who had burnt alive a crispy critter. Bro, not even me with my cringe jokes would think of that. That's high level, bro. Yeah, he trapped her. Yeah, he trapped her.
With no source of the fire around. But that's a coincidence.
Yeah, right outside the door. He trapped her. And he got the kids and the other kids over here.
As you come back here, you buy your farm.
No, I didn't buy a farm.
Ultimately, you did. Did you not ultimately buy a farm? You bought a house, and then you ultimately bought your parents' farm.
Right.
Jesus
and
Christ.
I paid my dad for it.
You sure did. But ultimately,
the money I worked for.
Levi, this one son of yours, this black sheep son, the one son that you don't get along with.
No, you can't say that.
Oh, you're great friends with him?
At the end, very much so.
So
that his father punished him for stealing one of his bruises.
$700,000 life insurance policy and names for his father that he doesn't get along with. He's a sole beneficiary. No. And you happen to pay the policy. And his death takes place 1 day before he has to have his physical, which you may know both of you not going to pass because of the situation he has with his choking and his stroke. You're very familiar with his medical history. So he comes over to your house, you entice him over to your house.
I don't entice him over to the house.
To pay him money. You're not going to pay him money?
Yeah, but I'm not enticing him. It's just what he always done.
Levi, come on over. I got $50 for you. Can you come? You're broke, and I got money for you.
No, he wasn't broke. He was working at Guardian at the time. I didn't know anything about any of his business.
Come on, dog.
I don't know what they paid.
So he has
Come on, dog.
money?
No, he had. I mean, wouldn't you?
So now he comes over to your house with a $700,000 life insurance policy 1 day from his physical. You go out there.
Oh, this is looking extra fishy, my boy.
He gets under this truck that your son, the one you're supposed to love and care for, this is your.
Yeah, I don't think the child sexual assault thing was a real thing. Because that guy, this guy was the guy that came in and said he was investigating like something that happened with the son, but now he's just pressing him, and the narrator said that he could be lying, right? And look, and now the narrator's pressing him, completely forgetting about the other case.
1 day from his physical. You go out there.
I don't know when his physical was. I don't know when it was.
Oof.
You go out there, he gets under the truck that your son.
Oof, he just ignores him.
Care for. This is your blood, your flesh and blood. And you jack it up on the chintziest, lousiest jacking system going that we both know of being on farms.
And they're
with no blocks, nothing.
Well, I thought it was gonna be more stable.
It's only my son.
Yeah, you know what, dude? The base is kind of tiny. I mean, it's big and heavy. This shit ain't breaking, but yeah, you gotta add something to that base.
It'll crush and kill him. But miraculously, the truck falls over on him while you're there. And you say,
I wasn't in there when it happened.
Well, you might say that, but we both know you were in there.
Right.
And you then just say, well, the truck's crushed him. Oh, I don't want to take advantage of it, but I sure am happy that maybe I leaned up against it and I fell over on him.
But I said I took advantage of the situation once it happened.
And then I go back
Oh my God.
I don't call for help. Did you call 911 for help?
I didn't.
Did you call for help?
No.
And so he needed help, and you're his and you don't give him help.
Oh, look at the press. Look at the press.
Exactly.
Look at the press.
All of the discrepancies at once. He hopes Carl will feel.
Look at the fucking press.
Resolve in both his story.
Bro, this press is majestic.
You let him be crushed on there. You go back and go, okay, honey, let's go to your uncle's funeral down in Penn Yan. And you get in that car and you drive, and you know, you're unemotional. driving along, 4.5 hours into it. You drive down, you drive back, and you say, showtime. I need to take it so nobody knows what happened. And you go out to that garage where the radio's been cranked up, so when the truck crushed him, he could scream and yell, and nobody could hear his screams. You know he didn't like, and it's screaming, it's blaring loud, so he can't be heard. And you come back and you say, again, it's showtime for Carl to put on my show.
It's showtime, boys. My stream's on. Let's go.
You go run by the house, go, oh my God, Cindy, hurry, call 911. The truck fell over on Carl. Well, you've known that for 4.5 hours.
Levi.
And you want them to come out to your lifeless son's cold, dead body.
Ooh, look at the editing, bro. Now the editor's pressing him. Look, watch. There's a double team. Watch.
You want them to come out to your
Look at this, bro. I saw this.
Dead body.
Even the fucking editor's pressing him. Yo, hold on. Let me surround him. I'm surrounding him now. Sup, pussy?
Carl Haynes
He's getting pressed hard.
indicating that he's shutting out what the detective is saying, or possibly that he's feeling.
Bro, he got pressed by everyone.
Later revealed that when Carl found Levi, she thought that he acted overly distraught because he threw himself up against the wall.
Showtime. Within 1 month, I'm there. I'm at it. I get my $700,000 policy. I don't take my $700,000 grandkids, which my son intended for. And I say, hey, my insurance, my policy, my retirement plan went from over $100,000.
Bro, dude, most people's retirement plans, okay, is having kids and then having the kids support them. That's what humans have done over their whole life, right? It's like, yeah, I'll work, but then who's going to work for me when I'm old? You know what? I got to have some children so they can work and they can feed me when I'm old, right? This motherfucker said, well, I could shortcut that. I could have some kids, I'll feed them, and then I could kill them off for some moolah. Now that sounds like a better retirement plan. Jesus fucking Christ. Bro, you should have just told your son to become a fucking streamer like me. Honestly, he would have paid your house off, bro. Trust me.
Once again, he
the wife's name. Oh, it was Cindy, bro. It was Cindy, bro.
Carl refuses to take responsibility for anything.
Did Cindy kill your ex-wife too, bro?
Being exploitative.
Dude, imagine if Cindy killed his ex-wife. Imagine if Cindy was an actual fucking stalker and she burnt the fucking truck. Remember when I said, bro, whenever you're taking out the policy on somebody, right? If I started taking out life insurance policies and things, or like a policy and then it was burned, I think I'm cursed, bro. I think there's a serial killer after me. Maybe Cindy's a serial killer. Maybe Cindy wanted to get with him, so she burnt the other woman alive. Yes, it wasn't my boy Carl. Couldn't have been him.
Another sign of a narcissist. Killing a
Couldn't have been
family member
him.
for insurance money would definitely be considered exploitative.
Jesus fucking Christ.
The grandkids, mother doesn't anything. These girls got to be raised from the time they're 2 and 4 years old, and they get nothing. But Carl says, I can take care of myself.
I couldn't take care of my. Levi did not want Cassie to know about it or to get a penny from it.
Oh, but the fucking daughter's you monster. But the granddaughters.
He wanted them to grow up in a shit house and a shit crap trailer, living like paupers when their dad had $715,000 in life insurance. So Carl got to build up his little independent life. Because you squandered away like you had your whole life. You didn't take it for yourself. You took the money for yourself and put little to nothing in your girl's name. And ultimately, that money in your girl's name, you had total disregard for that too. Because you had no problem taking that money out of it and putting it right back in your pocket.
No, I had a problem with it.
Oh, really? Where is it?
Oh, you had a problem with it. He had a problem with it. He just did it. He had a problem with it, guys, but he took it.
Until he starts discussing money. And then Carl chimes in and starts arguing back.
You took the money, the girl and the wife. Oh, she took it out? And you didn't take anything? You didn't benefit from it?
Oh, we both did. We both did.
You did benefit. You benefited $700,000 in a loss of your son.
She still got her 100 and some.
When did the act stop, Carl, and the truth comes out?
Bruh.
Is there ever truth with you? Yes. When?
When?
It hasn't been seen in the 27 years we've researched you.
Oh my fucking god.
No truth. Do you want to talk about the truth?
You gotta start thinking about some damage control, Carl.
Carl's own
He's
words
getting
are
pressed.
finally coming back
Heavy,
to haunt him.
I
heavy.
did not kill him.
What killed him?
The truck.
The truck.
How'd the truck kill him?
It fell on him.
Landed on him.
Good one, Carl. Wait, let's do that again, bro. Let's do that again. Let's do that again. Jesus Christ.
Landed on him.
Okay.
What killed him?
The truck.
The truck, yeah?
How'd the truck kill him?
Landed on him. How'd your ex-wife die? She got burnt to a crisp. She became a crispy critter. Who started the fire? Well, the dog. The dog shoulder checked a kerosene thing. Yeah, it was the dog, bro. Who boarded up the fucking window? Me. When? Like 3 days before. Jesus Christ. Yo, who burnt your car? I don't know. God. What the fuck? Who burnt your barn and your horses? God too. Listen, God wanted somebody to ride the horses, so he took my son. Alright? He took my son, bro.
And I had nothing to do with the truck landing on
Carl, stop and think a minute. Do you think that anybody's gonna believe
him. No.
that you confessed to Cindy because you were playing a game
He
with
was-
her and you left your son laying
I
there
mean-
dead because you were in shock for 4.5 hours?
Yeah.
You think people are gonna believe that?
I mean, it's possible if he was sadistic.
So you don't you think? Gotta
But
do
why
with
did
it.
And he wanted to torture her, but
What really happened?
That's what happened.
what a fucking retard.
It did.
It did. It did not happen.
What a
There's
retard.
No way.
It did.
I've been around a long time, Carl. Nobody.
What a
does that.
retard.
All right.
Do you mind if I stand back up again?
What a retard.
It's likely
Yeah,
that Carl is trying again to escape the intense questioning when he asks to stand up.
Bro,
The detective appears annoyed and angry, and he storms out of the room, intentionally leaving Carl alone.
I
with his
wanna
friend,
see-
the lieutenant. The lieutenant.
I want to see at least one of these motherfuckers attempt to get away, bro. Once you've been caught for murder, okay, and you're gonna get like the chair and your arson and double murder and this and that and the other, bro. At this point, at some point, you become a serial killer. I'd like to see them try to escape. I'd like to see them run and open the door and try to get the fuck away and then get fucking destroyed. I don't know why they don't. Yeah, I mean, listen, bro. If you burned your ex-wife to a crisp, then you push a fucking truck onto your son, right? And you scam the insurance policies. You know you're gonna get super fucked in prison. Why the fuck wouldn't you just try to get the fuck away? I don't understand. It's like those, you know, the circuses where they have the fucking elephants and the elephant is just held by a rope, one fucking rope, and you're like, bro, there's no way that elephant doesn't escape, you know? I think he's broken, dude. I think they just break them.
Lieutenant then pretends to take Carl.
I think they just break them.
Jesus Christ, Carl.
Well, I can tell you something that's not true, sir.
Carl's language has shifted somewhat, and he's now calling.
Now
the
he's
detective
respective, sir. Yeah.
This is likely because the dynamic between Carl and the detective
And he's like-
changed once they increased the intensity of
Ah,
the
god
questioning.
damn it, Carl, you
Addressing
lied,
the
bro.
detectives in a formal manner may be an attempt by Carl to show them he's being cooperative.
Come on,
respectful,
dog.
and
You
that
can't be
he
doing
is
this.
Trustworthy.
You know, I'll go out on a limb for you to try and show that maybe there's some extenuating circumstances here, and you're gonna throw this cock and bull story? Come on.
Come
Don't
on.
do that, Carl.
Yeah, Carl.
All right, Carl. I really wish you. Last chance, buddy. After this, then things go as they go.
The lieutenant
Last one,
gives
buddy.
Carl an ultimatum. This is his last chance to confess. It's now or never.
Last one,
Of
buddy.
course, the police will never deny a suspect the ability to confess, but this statement is an attempt to add urgency in the suspect's
Yeah.
mind.
I can't tell you what didn't happen, sir. And I mean it.
I don't want you to.
I don't want you to.
But what you told me so far
Don't look good,
doesn't
Carl.
make any sense at all.
Don't look good, Carl. You feel sick? Well, imagine what your son felt when the fucking truck landed on his chest and stomach. I think he felt more than sick.
All right, well,
Yeah.
I'll get it out of the way.
It's okay, Carl.
Carl has
We
his
all
head
make
in his
mistakes.
hands
We all
and is
make
clearly
mistakes.
showing signs of stress.
The important thing is that you
It's his
grow.
need for medication, which
Is
is
that you
possible, but it's more likely
that
that
you
he feels
that
the
you
walls
learn that this
closing
was
in
wrong.
on
That's
him
what's
and his
important
freedom.
here, Carl.
He's now beginning
The lesson.
to digest this. Carl's body language at this point is closed off. He's facing away from the detective and only makes limited eye contact, suggesting that he is disengaged from the conversation or possibly feeling defeated. Compared to the beginning of the interrogation, he's much more quiet.
What game were you playing?
And what
Bro, he gave so much info he didn't need to give.
I don't know.
Carl.
Carl.
Yeah, Carl.
I can't tell you something I didn't
Fucking
do.
dumb
I'll
fuck.
walk down the road with you. I will. I'll walk down the road. I'll stand by you on this if you are honest about it.
Stand
Because
by
everybody else
me.
That's working this case is
They just hate you, Carl. They gave up on you.
When Carl states he's going to
They
jail,
gave up
he
on
may
you,
be
Carl.
fishing for information about whether the detectives have enough evidence.
I
to
haven't
convict
given
him.
up on you, Carl. I still believe.
I don't know what's going to happen to you yet.
For something I didn't do. You know, for something I didn't do.
Are you gonna cry about it, little boy?
I let him down. I walked away.
Well,
I lived with that for 4 years.
well, you deserve some punishment for that. Let's be real.
You know, you guys
You abandoned your kid.
somehow, you know, pulled that out of me. And in a way, it's been a relief.
Good. It should be relieved.
And what about your wife? That you very clearly burned.
You did. It's all right.
As the lieutenant sees Carl is breaking down, he now touches him to encourage him to confess.
No, he goes. Which wife? Which one of the two that I fucking burned? And then they go, wait, what do you mean two? Wait, I thought you only burnt one. Jesus Christ, Carl.
Wants to know how confessing will help him.
I'll stand up for you.
What are you going to do for me?
I'm going to stand up and say this wasn't premeditated, cold-blooded murder. That it was just something that happened.
It was an accident.
Sometimes, Carl.
It was an accident, Carl.
That's what I'll do for you.
In 5 seconds, Carl will seal his fate deeper than any moment before in this entire interrogation.
Don't tell me that, you fucking cunt. Let him cook. Let him cook. Don't, bro, this motherfucker giving a countdown.
I opened the truck door.
Okay.
When they did.
Nah, I don't believe it, bro.
Finally,
too many
Carl divulges
coincidences.
that it was an accident and breaks down.
Listen. If that was the only thing, okay, I could believe it. Alright? If that was the only thing, I could believe maybe it was an accident. But was it an accident that your car burnt? Was it an accident that your horse burnt? Was it an accident that your ex-wife burnt? Too many accidents, Carl. Okay? Too many happy little accidents, bro.
Crying. The lieutenant pats him on the back.
Also, yeah, the hug, bro, the hug.
But then quickly presses him for more.
Oh, look, he's gonna press him.
Carl
Look, he's gonna
doesn't
press him.
really confess. The officers have more than enough
Look, he's
evidence
gonna
to
press
show
him.
his actions were planned and intentional.
Look, he's gonna press him.
And if I hit the box underneath it, it wouldn't have happened.
Oh, the blocks that the other guy just told you to put on. So,
An accident. Why'd you try and hide it?
yeah. If it was involuntary manslaughter, why'd you try to hide it?
You're very close, Carl. Come on.
I didn't do it.
Carl, come on, bro. Just tell me the truth. You took out the life policy on it, bro. Too many coinky dinkies. Oh, Carl, you hoped it landed on him. Carl, come on, spit it out, bro. You can do it.
It's an accident. I went up the door and stepped in.
And then jumped. Put on, who let the dogs out? Who?
Carl then uses his
Is that what you did,
Carl?
Carl?
The confession.
Carl, come on, buddy. Spit it out. Oh, you have no God, bro.
Okay, well, I got somebody working on it.
Oh, your muscle spasm? Just like how they spasmed
Let's finish.
when you were pushing the car over
It's
your
impossible
son?
to believe Carl's claim that he accidentally killed his son by stepping inside the truck. Even someone who isn't knowledgeable about jacks would not do such a dangerous thing.
Yeah, that's just...
And Carl has been working on cars since he was a kid.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, bro.
So you opened the car door?
I opened the truck door because I had to get inside to move the linkage for the truck.
Oh, come on. The blind eye, thank you for the follow, dude.
It just...
I've seen this before. It's so fucking evil, man. Ah. Have you seen this video though? Bro, this motherfucker burnt a car, one of his cars. Got paid by the insurance. Burnt his horses, got paid by the insurance. Burnt his wife, got paid by the insurance. Crushed his kid, got paid by the insurance. What the fuck? And then he's like, it was an accident. Good one, bro. Yo, good one. Holy fuck.
Carl makes sure to add he isn't culpable for the other stuff.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, see, here we go. Here we go.
As once
Here we go.
again, he's focused on himself and self-preservation, even while admitting to killing his son. The detective returns, and the lieutenant reveals that Carl has confessed. It's likely that the detective was watching the confession.
Yeah, of course, he already saw that.
Entered the room. He pulls a chair up directly in front of Carl and
he had a
leaves
track
him to
record.
invade his personal space. The detective
No,
is
the
again
president.
friendly to Carl, but this will not remain the case.
Smack him.
You know he died of...
Oh, bro, you're so close to smacking him. Just smack him.
And if the truck was lifted off, then he would have been able to...
I don't know what I was thinking.
But if you just jacked it back up, you know how to use a railroad jack.
Oh,
So
yeah,
it
I know.
fell.
I know.
So the truck fell on your son, and instead of jacking it back up...
Yeah, you ran like a little bitch.
Scared as I don't know why. I don't know why.
Just the metal thing, it just
I
went...
just went... It didn't register. It just blanked. So I just got the hell out of there.
Oh, so you abandoned your...
Just
Okay,
window
bro,
through
come
the
on.
glass or something and didn't want to get caught.
Oh my
Detectives the new version of
god.
the accident that caused Levi's death. Carl states that he was like a kid who didn't want to get caught.
Bro, he didn't even think of his fucking goddamn son, okay? Now he's saying, I didn't even think of my son, bro. I was worried about myself. What the fuck? Officer, you must understand. Officer, the reason why I didn't save my son is because you cops exist. And I knew you guys would take me to prison. That's why I didn't save my son. If you guys didn't exist, I would have saved him. It was your fault. You guys should go to prison. That's what he's saying. Are you a retard? I'm sorry, Carl, but are you retarded? Does the R in Carl stand for car retarded L? Jesus
It
Christ.
certainly makes sense to Carl to feel some guilt about inadvertently causing his
What an
son's death.
idiot.
However, it would be very strange.
I mean,
to
his
discover
name is
he
Carl
didn't get
Carlson.
caught if it truly
What the
was
fuck?
unintentional.
Their lungs can't expand, and he can't breathe.
Oh
If
my
someone still
God.
was alive, and you could have saved him.
Oh
You
my
ran
god.
You ran and let him die?
The detective now begins to play bad
Oh,
cop to
it's
Lieutenant
pressing him
Good
so
Cop
hard.
and confronts Carl with the fact that after the truck fell, he left him there to die instead of helping him to dispel his story that it was an accident.
Well, why? Because of the insurance policy?
No. It just...
Because...
I'm scared. I don't know.
It had nothing to do with the insurance policy.
Nothing.
Oh, and you benefit. Oh, come on. But you thought it... He said, I didn't think of it at that time. No, but 3 days later, you cashed into the fucking insurance policy, didn't you, you fucking cunt? Three days later, bro, some bullshit like this.
Do you think that I believe it?
He's so full of
I don't
shit.
know what anybody believes. I really don't anymore.
Oh,
Anybody in this world is gonna...
nobody believes you, bro. Nobody believes you, Carl.
Kill him.
You did
Oh,
kill him.
come on, you did kill him. You didn't save him.
I did.
You killed him.
No.
Intentionally.
Yeah, it was an accident.
Just when it fell over on him, instead of going to his aid, his rescue of your...
You ran like a little bitch.
Nah.
It wasn't.
Wasn't me. he said, nah, it wasn't me.
I'm not gonna help him.
Come on, dog.
I don't want him to live.
Nothing. I just...
Oh, come on.
Didn't you were in the military. Didn't you tell the investigator earlier that you made me kill people, save
Why
lives?
didn't you go blank? I went blank. It's
Oh my
just
nobody goes
god,
blank
it's
in that
your
matter.
kid, bro.
Yeah, here.
Like I said, dude, if a tank fell on top of me, okay, and I was as flat as the flat earth, okay, my mother would lift that fucking tank off of me, bro. My mum would lift it off of me. I don't believe any of this guy's bullshit. What's supposed to say someone was a good kid who just thing that had a child too? No, he had 2 kids. Right now, here's the thing though. Here's the thing. This detective came in and said that his kid had molested one of his daughters, but I don't know if that was true, right? I don't know if that was true. Might have not have been true, because the detective like dropped that one and then left that. Like he was probably like trying to make the father think that the kid was a bad son, you know, kind of give him an out. But Jesus Christ, bro, he went pretty fucking far with that out. You know what I mean? Like, if that's not a real thing, he went out there, bro. You know? He went out.
Me? I'm not that.
Oh, bro, a real dad would have fucking pushed the car over, man. Like,
Carl's story, despite the fact that he
nah, he's a piece of shit. This guy's a piece of shit. He's a monster, bro. He's a monster.
Carl turns his body away from the bad cop and toward the good cop, trying to decrease his feelings.
Look, he's running away. You can't run away, bro.
I don't know what to tell you anymore.
Oh.
I think for once in your life, I don't know if you've done it in 50 years, but I think it's about time you sat around and you told somebody the truth. Carl, you killed him, and you pushed that truck over him, and knowing that you could have saved him, knowing that you could have helped him, you never wanted to help him. You never wanted to save him and get that truck.
Oh, she's getting pressed.
$700,000 plus was waiting for you.
Who gives a shit about the money?
Well, you very much gave a shit about the
Oh,
money.
come on, dog. You gave a shit about the money on your car, on your horses, on your wife, on your kid, on your fucking other thing.
You're a money-driven individual, Carl. Period. Yeah. $700,000 is what you had gained from his death. $200,000 is what you had.
Oof, and he was coming for the granddaughters too, bro. He was coming for his fucking granddaughters. 1.2 on their heads, bro.
Will finally tell the real story, as he's already been proven to be a liar.
We're talking about the situations of all.
He had 1.2 on the granddaughters and another one on the wife.
They have to be fully insured.
Actually, no, 1.2 on the wife and something on the granddaughters.
I don't know what you call them.
Well, I have no insurance on my kids.
Yeesh.
Why you would have insurance for $700,000?
Because what if you accidentally killed him with your truck, officer? Duh. Listen, if I accidentally killed my kid with a truck, I'd like to get paid, you know? You know what I mean? Hey, it happens, bro.
I'm not going to call you a liar.
You know, I am.
That you're as untruthful as any person I've ever met. And attempt to be more manipulative. And to do what you did to your son.
Yeah, you're a monster, bro.
3 different versions of it without still telling us the truth shows me who you really are.
The detective completely dresses Carl down. He then walks out, leaving.
He fucked him and then he left. Look, he fucked him and then he left.
On him for comfort. This is all part of the good cop, bad cop technique.
Carl, I think I think most of them are gonna feel like he does.
I know. What am I gonna?
I think you ought to just take the last step. You're almost there.
Yeah, you're almost there. Just say you pushed it, bro.
Can I get more water, or even just fill up a cup or something?
You can get some cicuta, bro. You can get some water, you know, that is poisonous, maybe.
Once again, conveniently distracting from the issue at hand.
How hard of you, Carl, had to want him to die?
Oof.
I'm telling you straight. I don't mean that to be.
No, but Carl, you didn't even try to help him.
You walked away from him.
Yeah.
You left him there, the truck on top of him.
Yeah, part of you wanted him dead, bro. At least.
You had to be okay with that.
I don't know why I would have been.
Oh, come on.
This is a sworn statement. You have to tell the truth on this. Okay. All right. Why don't you write your account of what happened that day?
The lieutenant is now completing the last step of the Reed technique by having Carl reduce his confession to writing on an affirmation. This makes it more difficult to retract a confession or say your words were misunderstood when they are written down by the suspect himself, knowing it is a sworn statement.
There's something you think you should apologize for? This is not a bad place to do it. If you want to write an apology to Levi after you state what happened.
And you know what?
Are you sorry what happened, Carl?
Yeah. How do you walk away? I mean, how do you...
That's the hard part, because it's the hang-up here.
I know, and I understand that, and it's like...
Oof.
The brutal truth.
Poisoned all of her husbands to death? I've heard about that shit. I've heard about that.
Whatever you're...
But I don't think I've watched that one. We're gonna watch that soon.
The action
and then the inaction of leaving them there.
Right.
Okay, so...
Contributed.
Bro, Levi kind of looked like Bad Bunny.
I wonder, and I've often wondered, did the drugs play a role?
Oh, now he's blaming the drugs.
So he's trying to more concretely build a defense that he doesn't remember
Was it the drugs?
because of the drugs he was on. He's been hinting at this defense throughout the interrogation. It's not a believable defense, as this was planned for weeks. He recalled many details about other things in his life at that time with no problem whatsoever.
Well, you know how people that are on drugs...
Yeah, you know, people.
That are,
or whatever.
I'm just saying.
Guys, I killed somebody. Not my fault. I was on drugs.
Which could suggest that he's feeling
it happens,
defeated
bro.
and or fatigued.
In fact, it wasn't just somebody. It was my son.
Position, leaning onto his
and
knee with his head down.
Insurance policy on him.
Has drifted into night,
but,
and at this point, he has been in the interrogation room for over 9
what a piece
hours.
Of shit.
So feeling worn out would
what
be
a piece of shit, dude. What
he's
a piece
likely
of shit.
thinking and possibly feeling anxious about what is going to happen next. They have the lieutenant effectuate the arrest, as he's the one who's been playing good cop, and Carl will be more cooperative with him.
Alright. Yeah. Hands behind the back. Let's go.
Of course, as you may have speculated, Carl's arrest was far from how
Bro,
After Carl was arrested, Cindy realized that the pelvic pain she'd been experiencing when around him abruptly stopped. She now wonders if Carl had possibly been trying to poison her with arsenic.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Cindy was likely lucky to escape with her life.
Yeah, she was next. She was next, and then the granddaughters.
The findings that were unearthed during the extensive investigation into Levi's death raised many new questions, and they were the kind that couldn't go unanswered. Not this time around.
Yeah, how many people they killed?
His arrest, Carl continued to insist that he was not to blame for Levi's death. Then, in a strange turn of events, on the very day his trial was set to begin, Carl pleaded guilty to murder in the second degree on November 6th, 2013.
Accidental, right?
He was sentenced to 15 years to life in prison. His self-described bad luck took a turn for the absolute worst several years after he pleaded guilty to causing Levi's death. The suspicious fire that resulted in his first wife Chris's death in 1991 was revisited, and the conclusion reached was far different than that which resulted from the initial investigation.
No, but it's gonna be...
Carl stood trial for the murder of Chris in January of 2020, and on February 3rd, he was convicted of murder in the first degree. He received a sentence of life without the possibility of parole. Despite the collection of insurance policies he obtained,
depends where he is.
Another will die at the hands of Carl Carlson.
Listen, man, I'm not gonna lie. Listen, not gonna lie, bro. That guy kind of deserves the death penalty, okay? Like, that's fucking satanic, bro. You killed your son and you killed your ex-wife. Hey, that's death penalty for me, but hey, listen, probably doesn't live in a state where the death penalty is allowed, right? Because we keep seeing the people that have killed, like the serial killers, the people that have killed like 2 or 3 people, they get death sentence. Jesus Christ. Bro, that guy was stupid. What a fucking retard. Hey, Carl, what killed your son? Well, the truck evidently fell on him. What the fuck? Yeah. I agree, dude. I agree. Hey, give him a chance, bro. Yeah, you're right, dude. Bench press. How about they drop the fucking truck on him and he can bench press it? We'll see, you know? That's what he did to his son, and then we can all leave the room and then say, well, the truck fell on him. I mean, that's what we could do. You know what I mean? Sounds like a great idea, actually. You know? But you know what sounds like a better idea, boys? If I go to sleep right fucking now, alright? Because I'm falling asleep. Standing up helped me, alright? But I need to sleep, boys. I need to sleep because I need to go to the gym tomorrow. And then we stream tomorrow. We'll watch some fucking killer documentary tomorrow too. Alright? Listen. I don't just want to watch these, even though they're very entertaining, bro, because these do not bring a good energy, okay? Next time I'm going to go on a show, bro, I don't want to come in with cannibal energy, okay? This is not good, bro. This fucking energy rubs off on you. Not good. Not fucking good, boys. Alright? So, let's see who we raid here. Let's see who we fucking raid, bro. Oh, come on. Are they supposed to be having beef right now? Dude, this is not gonna end well. Oh my fucking god, that's not gonna end well. Let's see. Ooh, Guna. Yeah, I'm not clicking that, bro. Vertigos. Oh, Erica. Let's see. Who do we raid, boys? Who do we raid? Troy versus Rich Bunny. What? Wait, hold on. Wait, this sounds like juicy drama, bro. Listen, I'll raid Guna. How about that? Guna, Gooch. Guys, take care of yourselves. I'm gonna go straight to sleep. And tomorrow, hopefully, stream starts earlier than today. And I'm gonna start pulling it back by like an hour, 2 hours, alright, every day, so then we get the right fucking schedule. And then we set in a fucking schedule properly. We got the consistency, then we'll get the time, then we get the schedule, then we get the shows and everything. Anyways, have a good night. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the follows. The Blind Eye, thank you for the follow, bro. Josuan, Capo, 00, Ken. Oh my god, I missed, bro. I missed the fucking... Guna, Gooch. Cheers. We'll watch one tomorrow. Non-accountable. Hug for you, bro. Guys, don't die in your sleep. Don't kill your kid with a truck. If you are gonna kill them, don't take a life insurance policy on them. Because it's too obvious. Jesus Christ. Don't kill your kids. Don't kill your wives. Alright? Have a good life. Ooh, that rhymed. That rhymed. That rhymed. Oh, bro, what's going on here?